dreams take flight. Marc D with the C's got the key to life. Retro toys and comics we adore. TV and movies, let's explore. Sunday Night Geekery, it's the place to be. With Marc D with the C, let your nerd run free. Old school vibes and stories untold. Tune in, tune out, let the magic unfold.
Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Night Geekery, a very late issue number 219. So thank you everyone for being here. Sorry for the late start, but we've got UConn in the tournament, in the NCAA tournament, which you might have heard about March Madness. And I guess that's pretty closest we get to pro sports, I guess, is these days is UConn's men and women's basketball. I think maybe there's a pro soccer team. I'm not sure. But, yeah, we used to have the Hartford Whalers. So, of course, most of us here are either Yankees or Mets fans or well, Buffalo Bills are way up north, but yeah, that could count, I guess, right? Because it is the state next door. But yeah, UConn is pretty big as far as we go as basketball in the state, and they've been pretty good. So nice win by the Huskies tonight, and shout out to my good friend Dadman. Sorry, Dadman, you guys, your Florida Gators did not make it, but sorry to hear that. But well, it's just sports ball, right? But let's start by saying hi to everyone that's in the chat. Or actually, I was just checking. Yeah, we have the Connecticut Sun. That's right. The Hartford Yard Goats, Norwich Sea Unicorns, New Britain Bees, Bristol Blues, Mystic Schooners, and Danbury Westerners. That's all baseball teams. Yep. And I guess there's a couple of semi-pro football teams. Wow. Other Islanders, Hartford Wolfpack, of course, have an AHL team, and then another Islander team plays in Bridgeport, and we've got the Hartford Athletic. Yeah, so the Huskies are pretty much where it's at. But let's say hi to everyone here, and of course, we always want to remember our buddy, dear departed buddy, the great. Late great Clobbering Times.
I just love Clobbering Time.
Oh, my mic is low. I checked my mic before I went in, so I did reboot the computer tonight, but I could have sworn I checked the mic. So sorry about that. Let me check. Yeah, because when you play a clip, then it messes it up. Let me go into my sound settings. Maybe it's that Crisp is messing it up. Let's see. Microphone. All right, it always goes down to like 85 or 88. Let me know if that's better. And thank you for that, Brian. Hopefully that'll pop up the volume. And let's catch up to the chat here. All right, we've got Maddie's daddy who says yes, and of course remembering the late great legend Chuck Norris tonight as well. I never met Chuck Norris, but his footprints are all around me. I fought and beat one of his students at a tournament in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. My Kung Fu, I'm not sure who that is, wrote Sidekicks, which is rewritten into, I don't know if we lost the second half of that comment there. And he says, my former father-in-law fought him in Salt Lake City in 1972. Well, wow, Steve, I want to get in a fight with your father-in-law then. Right? What have you done? I've fought Chuck Norris. You better watch out with my daughter, right? Yeah. And of course, hello to Brian Hepburn, and hail to Your Old Toys. Great to see you, Your Old Toys. And you're on the East Coast. You're in Eastern Coast time. Glad to have you. If you want to say what state you're in, you don't have to. But I wonder where are you on the East Coast? Not exactly, but roughly. You could narrow it down to the states. The state, yep. And hail to Hi Boy. And I guess, are you on the vertical or horizontal? Let's see here. On the horizontal. Great to have you here on Sunday Night Geekery. And we go, can't stay too long. Unlike Mark, I occasionally do require sleep. Well, you're 3 hours behind, buddy. But yeah, I do. I do not. Yeah, well, I do get my sleep in. Yeah, but have a late night schedule. Yep. And is Dadman? Yes, Dadman is in Florida. Yep, that's why he's a big Florida Gators fan. Yep. And good evening to Admiral Teague. Hal, great hanging out with you last night, talking Trek. And hey, we got someone who likes Star Trek here. Let's play. We gotta play. Here we go.
Your agonizer, please.
Brain and brain. What is brain?
Women!
And of course, happy birthday to the amazing William Shatner.
There's only one thing I want to say to you, Commodore.
You're a dumbass.
Going 95 and looking awesome. Yep, and still with it. And God, I love his Twitter feed. Yep. Okay, yeah. So hopefully my mic is okay as I'm catching up to the chat here. Let's see. Real head cases here. It says, "What's up, nerds?" All right, so cover your ears because this clip ended up really loud. I don't know why it's so loud, but nerds are very loud. So let's cover your ears a little bit. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Get those nerds! 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 What?
What do we wait for, nerds? And of course, yes, thank you, Wes Cagle. Great to hang with you, Wes Cagle. And last night, and remember Clobber Times Legacy channel. Yeah, Mike's channel's not getting as much views. Understandably, it's not current. But I wish more people were able to. Big Willie is here. Who's Big Willie? Am I safe?
Well, I heard you wished me a happy birthday, so I thought I'd come on here and say thank you, Mark. Priceline.com.
That's amazing, Mr. Shatner. Well, happy 95th birthday, and you look much better than you ever did in the deadly years. Those makeup artists really made you look old. Yeah.
Well, I listen every week, and I'm glad that you said happy birthday. Nobody else acknowledged it, not even my children.
Not even your children. That's terrible. Yeah, they didn't even get you a cake or anything, or something good, or Enterprise cake, or
Honestly, I'm so rich I can buy whatever I want. So.
Yeah. Well, I need you to come over and sign, some of my Star Trek memorabilia, but you might be here for like 3 days straight before you can get through signing.
How much does it pay?
I feed really well. I just cooked a turkey on the Big Green Egg this week, so this evening. So yeah, we've got a lot of turkey. We got what else? We got quadrilaterale. No tribbles here though. No, we don't serve any tribbles, but maybe I don't know. Maybe some quattros. I don't know. I got to work it out. But yeah, I don't have a lot of extra money because I spent all my money on Star Trek memorabilia.
You lost me back at Big Green Thing.
Big Green Thing. Yeah. So what did you do on your birthday, Bill? What did you? Would you go out to somewhere good like Olive Garden, or what did you do?
I made sure I was still blocking that freakazoid Tom Connors on X.
You gotta watch out for that guy because he's a little obsessed over turtles, right? I mean,
well,
he
I
likes
love the
turtles
show,
way too
but
much.
frankly, you should get rid of him.
Should get rid of him, yeah.
Yeah, he kind of drags it down.
He drags the show down and it ruins my ratings. Yeah.
Priceline.com.
Priceline.com. Yeah. Well, you probably don't know this, but one of my buddies growing up, Scott Case from Boy Scouts, was actually one of the engineers on Priceline and has patents on Priceline. So he's met you before. I don't know if you remember him. You're not.
He's a good friend. Made me very rich.
Good friend. Yeah, made you very rich. Yeah.
Much more rich than Star Trek has.
Yeah. Well, that didn't pay so well, did it? Right?
No.
Yeah, I heard you.
CBS is full of greedy bastards.
Did you get any? And the residuals weren't great either, though, right? Yeah, but I did hear you stole a toupee from.
I did,
from
but
the set. Is that true?
My bonus was a pen. A pen that said CBS.
That was it. Yeah. So you took the toupee.
Not even a lousy mug.
Yeah, who was going to wear the toupee anyway, right? I mean, they made it for you. Like, what was Patrick Stewart they're going to save the toupee for Patrick Stewart 20 years later?
Well, he did supposedly use it in the rehearsal video that he did. Or, that thing you do that Shatner doesn't do because he's bigger than him.
Yeah, he doesn't need to try out for
audition. That's the word.
Yeah,
I don't do that.
Yeah, the audacity of asking for an audition. Yep. Oh, one of our friends is Your Old Toys is visiting Orlando at Disney World. Have you been to Disney World lately, or?
Never have. Don't trust no rat.
Don't trust no rat. Yeah, and they don't have any Star Trek stuff here. They've only got that other thing. Have you ever heard of
they
Star
got that
Wars
other
before?
place. Yeah, no.
You ever heard of Star Wars? Or it's not so
That
popular.
Carrie Fisher
these
was a
days.
lovely, lovely woman, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I'm sure you haven't watched Starfleet Academy, right? I mean,
Is that real? I thought that was a fever dream.
well, let me play a clip from it. I think this was. Did anyone ever vomit glitter on the show? Let's see if I have
One
this clip here.
time, but it was a stripper, and I'm assuming it just soaked in her skin over time. And she also urinated glitter.
Oh, well, I don't want to see that. But here's what Starfleet Academy has.
Frank, glitter vomit.
Glitter vomit.
Glitter vomit.
Yes.
Glitter vomit, yeah. So I don't know how. I guess you encountered it just one time, right, in your travels. Yep. So,
I guess.
across the galaxy, yeah.
But thank you for the birthday. I got to go. I got horses to attend to.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, be safe and hope you have another
Priceline.com.
95 birthdays. Priceline.com, yep.
Going back to space.
Oh, enjoy, yep. You can get your astronaut wings, yep. All right. Well, thank you for, I guess Tom Connors is back now. Thank you.
Who?
Thank you.
Oh,
Tom Connors, yeah, the guy that likes turtles.
I don't. You're just making shit up.
I like turtles.
Stop it.
Jeez. Fake news on Sunday Night Geekery. Always happens every week, right? Yep. And I guess, Your Old Toys is headed to bed, and he's a young, and he's got to get to bed. I guess he's probably going to Disney World at like 5 in the morning to get there early. So have fun. Your Old Toys tomorrow. Thank you for being here. And everyone sub to Your Old Toys. He's got some cool Star Wars stuff that even William Shatner would like, I think. Yeah. So how are you doing, Tom?
I just got back from Project, whatchamacallit, Hail Mary.
Yeah, Mary. Yep, full of grace. The Lord is with thee.
Blessed are thee.
Did you like it?
I guess we'll talk about it. Did you see it?
We'll talk about. I did see it. Yeah, I went
right.
on Thursday. Awesome. So we can talk about that. We'll talk about Chuck and whatever else we can think of to talk about tonight. And hopefully we're not going to do 4 hours tonight though. But since we started late. But oh, Lemon Pie is here, and he wants to know if T.J. Hooker was his most satisfying role in his career. I think so, because he learned how to ride windshields by just holding the wiper blades on.
The most satisfying role I ever had in my career was a Kaiser role. I had a little diner in Maine. It was amazing.
Amazing, right? Yeah.
There's your answer.
And Brian says he only cooks turkey twice a year. LOL. Yeah. So well, I guess we should start by talking a little bit about the great Chuck
Norris. Yeah, that video that you helped edit and I wrote the song for. I posted that on X. Yeah, that's just too bad. It's kind of weird that we're just coming off a Chuck Norris month, not too long ago.
Yeah,
and I
just
thought he'd live forever.
If anyone would make it to 100, I thought it was Chuck. Chuck Norris, and he
Twice.
worked out all the time. Twice, right? Yeah. He worked out all the time, and he was, he's posting videos where he was climbing up mountains, hiking up mountains, and sparring. Of course, yeah, they're taking it easy on the guy's freaking 86, but he looked great last week or a couple weeks ago in that last sparring video, for 86. Same thing with my dad. I mean, he looked like 15, 20 years younger, and unfortunately, F cancer. He got cancer, but he was working, 6 days a week, 40, 50 hours a week up till he was 85. It wasn't, until he got cancer, he didn't slow down. Chuck was like, God, he's got with this constitution. So I'm, just only speculating, but obviously something, it wasn't a long-term illness that felled Chuck Norris, and or maybe it was the Reaper finally caught up to him after he evaded him maybe 20 plus years ago. But yeah, it was really a shock to see that and hear that. So what a great guy he was. Yeah, and patriot, loved America, and really did a lot for our
kind of the
troops
definition of true American hero. I mean, look, right? I mean, I look at it this way. I mean, I refuse to believe that Chuck Norris died of any earthly means.
Right.
I'm pretty sure, I don't have any sources on this, but I'm almost positive that what happened is he left Earth to save us from some outside, threat, and sacrificed himself for us, is what happened. And that's the way it's going to be in my head. That's all there is to it. I mean, it's just...
you can't die. You can't die,
Not like a normal human being, no.
Yeah, he's actually in the sequel to Project Hail Mary. This time he's saving the universe, not
like
just
the bad guy
the
was like,
I'm going to eat the earth.
and Chuck is like, not on my watch, and that was it.
Yep. Yeah, just let me ask Grok what his best movies were. I've been grokking a lot lately. I don't know if that's appropriate to say or not, but let's see here. Let's check out what Grok says. Let's see, best Chuck Norris movies. And if you want in the chat, it's great having everyone hang out with us tonight. We got about 30 people hanging on Sunday Night Geekery, and let us know what some of your best Chuck Norris movies were. And Enter the Dragon, I guess you would, even though he's loses in that quote unquote to Bruce Lee.
Well, I mean, if he's going to lose to anybody, I mean,
yeah. So but that's probably, and that's considered one of the great.
We still don't know how Bruce Lee died. I mean,
yeah, that's a mystery too.
It could have been Chuck.
Could have been Chuck 20 years later. Yeah.
He just, we just never found out. He just did it so silently and ninjally.
Yeah, the speculation it was, an aneurysm or something that Bruce had, but
he took a pain med or something like that after already taken some other med and had some reaction to it. Supposedly, we all know it's Chuck Norris.
It's Chuck. Yep.
He couldn't live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
no, I'm kidding. I don't think Chuck would ever do such a thing.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm missing and Maddie's daddy, the great Steve Mitchell. Well, that's Steve is here. We got to play his intro too. So let's play the mighty Thor. And he says, Steve there says, Chuck Norris died the way I want to die. Sparring the week before he died. Yeah, that was that video I was mentioning. Yep. No slow decline into weakness and senility. That's something to be celebrated for sure. Yep. And hail to Emma. Thank you for joining us on Sunday Night Geekery. Let's see. Let me catch up to I hate missing any of the chat here, but Real Headcase does not know Hail Mary. Come on. Spooderman and New Baywatch. Well, we got New Baywatch. I guess it's a TV show, right, Tom, that they're rebooting as Baywatch as a TV show here, right?
I guess. I don't think it has anything to do with that Rock movie, but
right? I mean, it's just totally separate. But we do have a funny
I'll be there
for you.
Shaking. What?
Yeah, no, I Hasselhoff. That's a great song, and isn't he singing that song in later seasons? They put his voice in.
Maybe, probably, at least in the German version, I'm sure.
Right? No, Germans. We all know Germans love David Hasselhoff. Let's see. What was my Baywatch? I had a couple of fun Baywatch clips.
Don't they get his birthday off for like a national holiday?
Yeah, and his Christmas album. He's got a pretty damn good voice, I gotta say. We make fun of the Hoff, but
who said we were making fun of him?
People make fun of him. Yeah,
I mean, we don't have anything much left.
Yeah, right.
Him and John Travolta, we're fucked.
Yeah, we are screwed. Yep. Well, here's a test for the Baywatch test.
Can you just look at my boobs? You should look at my face.
I'm trying, but it's so close to your boobs.
Ha.
I can't believe they made that movie.
Yeah. Here's another one. This is a test for everyone in the audience. So here we go. You ready? Watch this test here.
Testing. Oh, failed.
Yeah, those two clips go together, but I gotta put those next to each other. But yeah, did you pass the test, Tom, or did you fail?
Never. I mean, how do we explain this to our grandchildren in 20 years? Like, we used to have TV shows, and then all of a sudden there was this era where they decided to make fun of the TV show with the movie. And it only lasted for about a decade. I don't know how to explain that to kids.
Yeah.
And it kind of started with that Brady
like
Bunch
Star Trek.
movie. Yeah. Anyway.
Was the Brady Bunch movie was made for TV, I guess, right? Wasn't it?
No. I'm talking about that one from the 90s.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Where it's literally like tongue-in-cheek, breaking the fourth wall bullshit. No, that movie's okay, and 21 Jump Street is probably the last good one. Every other one in between there is like shit, you know, like the Starsky and Hutch, that Baywatch one.
Yeah.
Fucking, we had Bewitched. Like, what the fuck was that all about?
Oh, that was with Will Ferrell, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't that good. Yeah.
I mean, the only good one was probably Addams Family and Beverly Hillbillies are probably the height, but they actually took
Addams
shit
Family
seriously.
Yeah, I did like Addams Family. And hail to Power Ranger Donnie. Hello. And yeah, I think I mean the Baywatch. I did like some of those clips. It was ridiculous, but it was, you know, some scenes were funny. I didn't mind the cast, but I just can't believe
it was
they
all
made
right.
it
But it was just like, what the hell?
What are you? Yeah, what are you doing? Yeah. And it works as a TV show. And I remember, you know, in college, we were like, Baywatch is on. We would watch Married with Children. Everyone, you know, gathered around the little TV we had back then that was 15 inches. And Baywatch, and of course, like the NBC executives canceled freaking Baywatch, and this is who was the co-star on the first season of Baywatch on NBC with David Hasselhoff. Who knows that in the chat?
Was that Heather Locklear?
No, it was a dude. Yeah, who was the other lifeguard?
There was dudes on Baywatch besides the
Hoff? Yeah, the first season on NBC. Yeah,
I don't remember.
Okay, Hardy Boys is a hint. And he was on Clobber and Tom's favorite show that only ran 7 episodes. And Mike actually saw him at a con and noticed the TV show and mentioned what it was from. And couldn't believe that anyone actually remembered the TV show. He's like, you know more about the show than I do when I was on it. So I guess going once, going twice. The great Parker Stevenson was actually on Baywatch.
Brian Hepburn got it.
Oh, Brian got it. Okay, sorry. No, you said Sean Cassidy. No, what's Kate? Where did Brian Hepburn put it in? Parker, there we go. Yes, at 12:03. Thank you. I should not have doubted that. Yep. So I knew some of the highly intelligent chat would get that, but yeah, Parker Stevenson, yeah. So and Clobby actually spent, like, if you know, I can't remember what show it was. I wish I could remember, like, what, you know, we had so many shows, but he talked about it at length about you know, being on that show, and he had like lunch with Parker Stevens, I guess, because they were in the same hotel or whatever. Or, you know, and he had his card too. So the show was Probe that Clobby really loved, and that was only 8 episodes, or 8 episodes. Yeah. So here's if you want to find, I don't know if you can find it online anywhere, or I did find some copies. But,
if anybody's going to remember an obscure show that only had 8 episodes, it's going to be Clobby. It was obviously
Clobby. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And High Boy says, yeah, they're actually hiring hot chicks for the reboot. Yeah. You mean they want to make money? It's like, well, yeah, because Critical Drinker was getting in trouble for posting the thumbnail of Nami from One Piece, and she's, you know, she's wearing a freaking bikini she's swimming on the ship, or she's on the ship, right?
I still haven't seen this new season yet, but yeah.
Oh, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Yeah. Just finished it last night. So, and you know, when you're going to get one more episode, and my better half is like, I'm really tired, but then you finish episode, you know, episode 7, and you're like, yeah, but gotta finish the finale. Yeah, head to the finale now. So, yeah, it was really good. Yeah, I mean, I think the first season is better, but it holds up. Yeah. So, oh, and Donnie says, yeah, Sean Cassidy sang the lyrics in the love theme from Star Trek: The Motion Picture. Yeah. And head cases. I only remember one dude from Baywatch. It was David Hasselhoff. Only because he was the boss of all the ladies. Are you saying that I shouldn't be remembering the dudes on Baywatch? But, yeah, because the show got canceled after the first season by NBC, and then it went to syndication. So, but here's proof that Parker.
And then it became like the biggest hit in syndicated history or whatever.
Yeah. So NBC, there's a joke, like they killed Star Trek. they cancel all these great shows, and like, what are you doing? Yep. But here's Parker Stevenson on Baywatch. Yep. Or Babe Watch, as they say, right? Yeah. Oh, there was another dude on the show.
Don't remember a dude on the show besides the Hoff. I'm sorry.
Besides the Hoff, yeah. There's Parker with the Hoff, yep. So one season only, yeah. And I don't know, I can't remember like people's names half the time, or like this or that, but I can remember Parker Stevenson was on the first season of Baywatch. What's wrong with me? It's like, do I have a problem, Tom? Yep. Nah. That's being a geek and a nerd, I guess, right? Yep. And Lenrod never even watched Baywatch.
And I have a problem, and
don't want to go there. Yeah. Come on, Lenrod, you gotta watch. You never watched one episode of Baywatch. I remember they were it was an Entertainment Tonight segment, and they showed some people in a third world country who didn't have electricity, and they would start their generator every weekend to make sure they could hook up the TV and watch Pamela Anderson on Baywatch. So I always remember that segment. It's like, yep. And Wallace says that we all miss Klobby. Yep, that's for sure. Yep. Parker also had Pond Far with Christy Alley. Yep, that's for sure. Yep. There's a star beyond time, floating in space, waiting for you and me. Yeah. So it was. It was just really more bad decisions by NBC. But let's. I did ask the Grok what over here what some of the funniest Chuck Norris facts. Let's see, and you did an awesome job with that, Tom.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there were so many I couldn't fit in there. I almost got to do like sequels to that song.
Right, the part 2. Yep.
Yeah. Because honestly, I think I only fit like 5 facts into a 3-minute song. I'm like, geez.
Yeah.
Well, the challenge was making it rhyme, to be honest with you. It's like,
yeah, right.
So you got to start from going backwards. So, I mean, which is kind of sometimes how lyrics are written, because you kind of figure, okay, I want to end in a place like this. So how do I get from there to here? I got to rhyme something in this line with this final word, if that's the word I want to use. Well, in this case, there's very little leeway, so unless I could flip something or change something out a little bit, I was pretty much stuck with trying to, work my way into these pre-baked, Chuck Norris
quotes.
Facts.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to use the best ones that I could find, the ones that made me laugh the hardest. So I just read through tons and tons and tons of them and just kind of remembered.
Picked your favorites.
The top 5 that stuck with me the most, probably, and that was,
Yep.
But I mean, he even loved him,
Oh
so
yeah, he was mentioned, too. Yep.
Here, actually, I got a clip for that. Before you get too deep into this, let me see if I can find it.
See if you can find it. Yep. And the real head case has became a new member. I thought you were a member head case. I'm not, but thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, but I could have sworn you were a member. But sometimes the Stream Element spot screws up. But thank you, and thank you everyone out there who is a member of the channel. Helps keep the light. Oh, just renewed your membership. But that's awesome. Oh God, much
or upgraded
much upgraded or yeah. So sometimes the bot gets it wrong, but no, you did renew it. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that, and it means a lot. And everyone who's a member of the channel, because it does it does cost a little bit of time and money to do the YouTubes, but I'm grateful to everyone who gives a little tip. It's really appreciated, and it's great to have everyone hanging out and have a lot of fun. Doing this. So yeah, we got about 30 people hanging out with us tonight. So really appreciate you all being here and get to enjoy Tom and I vamping about some some fun stuff tonight. So really great. Yep. So so here's a list of I just rocked this. I actually typed in the wrong question.
Whenever you're ready.
Oh, you got to go. Oh yeah, let's do that clip. Yep. Let me.
Yeah, because it sets this up pretty well, actually.
Yeah. Let's do this. Yep.
So I went in, and I bent down and I petted him, and all of a sudden you heard this like that. So the trainer says, "Get up very slowly and back up." So the tiger did. He slowly got up and backed out. So I went in.
God bless Chuck Norris. Yeah,
and I heard that he didn't quite get the jokes at first, but his son or something like that had to explain it to him, and then he embraced it wholly. But yeah. Because I guess at first he thought that people were making fun of him, and then he's like, "No, Dad, the joke is that you're so cool, nothing can hurt you."
Right? Yeah.
And then he kind of got it, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's just the memes were just so much fun. I mean, just so good. I mean, because he was a badass guy.
The greatest meme of the 21st century. I mean,
yeah, and he was just so good. Yeah.
I mean, he fit in that era so perfectly. I mean, you had Mr. T, you had him, Pee Wee Herman, Elvira, these people that were kind of larger than life in a way. Because even though Chuck Norris wasn't a guy, an actor who was in movies, he was one of these guys that was almost kind of interchangeable with his characters in a weird way, it felt like.
Yeah. And when actors are acting, I mean, unless you're like a Meryl Streep, it's like, when it's The Rock, it's, I love Dwayne Johnson. Right. But he's playing The Rock. It's he's an action star, right? Arnold. Right. Yeah, he's got some range, but and you can't help but bleed through your own. And
that's
your
Chuck,
own
and that's fine.
Yeah, so he's doing Chuck, and he's he's a badass, and he was a world champion in karate, so he knows his shit. He's not some.
We brought up Bruce Lee before. If anything, he was more or less a student of Bruce Lee, and he did what Bruce Lee did. Right? Bruce Lee knew his strengths. He played to his strengths. He basically made the same movie 5 times. But you didn't care,
No, that's what you want to see, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So Chuck made the same movie 50 times.
Yeah, I don't want to see Arnold Schwarzenegger remaking Yentl. I mean, it just he's an action star. And then he broke into comedy, with twins.
Don't I look Jewish to you?
Yeah. So all these guys
dreidel, I made you out of clay.
So Chuck was a consummate, he stayed in his lane, right? He didn't try to do, was he the greatest actor? No, but he was a pretty damn good actor. I think he was very believable.
I got to address this. I know that sounds weird.
Yeah.
But you had to have been alive, Caleb. And if you were, you know what I mean. Like, they were just entities that were of the time. And, I mean, if you want to make me name, like, 5 people that were, like, the Mount Rushmore of the 80s, it would basically be those guys and Rocky. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Maybe Elf, if not. Yeah. Like, I mean, they were just iconic. And they were the 80s. I mean, Chuck Norris, and it's, like, weird because what I mean by that is also they were perennial in that they never really changed, right?
Yeah.
Like Paul Rubens always played Pee-wee the same way.
Yeah.
Elvira always came off the same way. Same thing with Chuck Norris. He never changed. He didn't change his look or anything like that. You know what I mean? He kind of always stayed the same. It was just something about him. And he was of that era, of that Reagan 80s thing, It just screams that era. And you don't ever have to even see, like, that's the thing is most people who know him have never even seen any of his movies. Like, I know my kid's probably never seen any of his movies, but he knows who the fuck Chuck Norris is.
Right? Yeah. Yeah, my kids know Chuck Norris, even though I'm sure they don't know.
He's like Santa Claus now.
Yeah. So, like we had, Reagan, speaking of the 80s, we had, I'll just share this. Well, you always got to watch when you share it. I'm not even going to share it because it's got a firearm in it. You never know with the damn AI now. So it's a picture of Ronald Reagan.
Chuck loved the double Uzis.
Yeah, he did love the double Uzis. It's a Google the Ronbo. Here, I'm going to put the link in the chat because I don't want to. I keep hearing about AI screwing up and saying you're showing something on the live stream when you're not. And Drunk 3PO got knocked for it, and nothing happened. He didn't show anything. But picture it's basically it's the Rambo poster, and they airbrush. Back then there were no computers, so or good computers, and they put Reagan's face on it, and they sold these posters, and they called it Ronbo. And a lot of people had those up in their rooms in college, and it was a very popular poster. But yeah, but you had the 70s sucked, right, for the USA, right? You had Nixon scandal, you had Watergate, the end of the Vietnam War. Then you had Jimmy Carter come in and wearing his sweater, telling the people to turn their thermostats down, and the rise of the Ayatollah in Iran, and the hostage crisis. So the Iran took over our embassy and held our Americans there for 444 days, and America was just down in the dumps. I mean, the economy sucked. You had think of it, bad times. When my dad started his business in the 70s, they had something called the Misery Index that they created thanks to Jimmy Carter and the economy. So it was inflation and what were the other parts of the misery? The cost of energy, and I think there was what the heck else was there was another trifecta in there. I think it was three things in the misery. Unemployment, inflation rate, and it was just showing how bad things were. It was like the worst ever. And it was just not a good time. So Reagan comes in. Of course, Iran released the hostages during the inauguration because they knew Reagan was going to basically go to war if they didn't give the hostages back. And you really had a patriotic resurgence. You had a recession in 1981. It took a while to turn things around, but Reagan, the tax rate too back then, Kennedy had lowered the tax rate from basically 95%. If you remember Abbott and Costello, I think it was Lou Abbott was in insane trouble with the IRS, but the tax rate at the time was 95% or 99%, something ridiculous. So Kennedy lowered it to 70% in the 60s, and then Reagan came in and they lowered the tax rate to 27% across the board, and the economy just took off like crazy. Tom, you lived through this. I mean, wouldn't you say the 80s was a huge resurgence of everything American, right? I mean, it was just America time, right?
Yeah, I mean, it just was all these, just everything was just at its peak, and Chuck was kind of that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it was the Clint Eastwood of our generation or whatever you want to call him, he had that John Wayne-esque thing about him that every guy was like, that's the guy I want to be, or I wish I could be like Chuck,
Right? Yeah, the Americana, right? Because our military was kind of down to the dumps, and not because of the brave men and women in the military, but just they weren't spending money on equipment, and just especially that Iranian hostage rescue attempt that tragically some of the helicopters crashed together, and everything just went wrong, and it just highlighted some of the problems in our military. And that one of Chuck's best movies is Delta Force, and that kind of came out of that failed rescue mission. They said we've got to revamp all our special forces and coordinate and have elite warriors. Make sure they have the right gear and equipment, and
him and Sly really helped put a face on the POWs that were still in Vietnam, and how they were affected, and just how the war had kind of just been viewed in general, and kind of re-established us as a someone to aspire to be in the world after we kind of took a kick to the nuts in the 70s.
Yeah. Good night, Maddie's daddy. Have a great week, and say hi to Maddie. Boy says Hound didn't shoot first. Chuck shot first. Yep.
Chuck never even had to shoot. He just showed up.
Right. And Brian Barth has a great question here and to us. Why is anytime a famous person dies, someone tries to tarnish their legacy? You want to tackle that first time?
Oh, yeah. This is probably more or less into referring to that Variety article that we just did a video about too, and I'm sure other people have, but where they didn't even wait till Chuck was in the darn ground, I don't think, before they started to try and go after his character. It's like, of all friggin' people, who cares if he had a conservative leaning? Let's be real. If he did still, it was mostly in that Reagan era conservativeness anyway. So I have never heard him speak out in recent years about anything political. And in the past, whenever he has, it's been fairly benign from my memory. Now, please do correct me if I'm wrong, because I thought I saw somewhere some people were claiming this, that, and the other about some comments he made about homosexuals or something like that. And I'm like, look, I don't even know. You're going to have to show me the quotes, because I don't believe it. Because even as you can tell me he was a real hardcore in the paint fucking Republican, and I still don't see a hateful bone in Chuck Norris's body unless you're a bad guy. Right? Like, I mean, that's just it. Like, he seemed to be one of those guys, and that's kind of what I was getting at with comparing him to those personas that were like kind of bigger than life. He was kind of bigger than life in that way, but you never really heard of any big scandals. I don't ever think I've ever heard about him ever being like a big drinker or, involved in any kind of drugs anyway, or anything like that. I don't even think he had any real big marriage scandals from my memory or anything like that. I'm not saying he hasn't probably had a couple wives or something like that, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking back and I'm trying to remember any time. I don't even think he's ever wound up on the cover of the Inquirer. Like, I mean, if I'm wrong, please, again, correct me. But he seems like he is somebody that led such a
wholesome family life,
life, and he was always a good role model to look up to. And honestly, to see somebody try and tear him down like that in a way that makes no sense whatsoever, just to push their own politics onto him. It's
that was Variety, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was this dude from Variety who did this article, and I can't even believe Variety would put it up.
Well,
like, that's the thing, is I call both of them to task. Yeah, on this whole thing. First of all, you have the audacity to write something like that right after he dies. Yeah. And of all people, he's the last person you should go after. Who gives a shit who he would have voted for? Right? Yeah. Like, that doesn't matter. And then he tries
to... They're gonna, if God forbid Mark Ruffalo were to pass away.
Right.
Suddenly, would they mention his legacy was tarred by his politics? I mean, they wouldn't have, they'd say he was an activist and politically active and fought for what he believed, right?
And I don't even remember any Rob Reiner headlines talking about his political bullshit either. So I'm not saying some might not have brought it up in the breadth of an article or in whatever, but even so, like, even because they had people like putting that article right next to stuff about him, and it's like, well, yeah, because it's obvious that they had to find some way, just like they do with everybody else, to try and tear him down for no good reason. It's just ridiculous. Well, they wonder why we can't stand the press anymore.
It's the media bias. I mean, you got to be fair, and that's why, as much as the nightly news, it was always biased. I mean, they would claim it wasn't, but years ago, I think it was a heck of a lot. If you look in the 60s and 70s, it was a heck of a lot better. And now we've got, I love the opinion shows, and I grew up as a political junkie, and I still am, but you didn't get opinion until Nightline, which again goes back to the hostage crisis. You had your weekend news shows, like the Meet the Depressed of the world, and
I think Watergate also fed into a lot of that too.
Yeah. So, but Nightline actually came out of that couple was on late night every night reporting on the Iranian hostage crisis. And then they said, well, hey, we can do like a late night news magazine. And they turned it into Nightline, which ran for years. And that was one of the few shows that you could get like some political opinion, pundits on. I think Rush was on one point on Nightline. And you could get that. But yeah, it wasn't like, you didn't have a CNN or a Fox or, CNN used to be, straight news. But you had the straight news, and you got your news, your opinion shows on the weekend. That was it. So everything is just so jaded now. They've always got to put their digs in. It's like, have the great, the guy passed away. Just you got to get some digs in. And he wasn't overtly political. Like assume, right? Like you always assume like he's conservative just because that's the typical persona. But I never remember Chuck Norris getting out there making statements all the time. Do you? Or
I think there was one time where, and I'm trying to remember all the context of it, where he would once in a while say something about certain things. Like I remember there was a video where he was talking about socialism, and I'm trying to remember the whole context of it. But this was years ago, and I mean, I'm not saying he never had any political leanings. Because, I mean, I remember even, when he was, people forget to a point that he was a huge star on television with Walker, Texas Ranger. Obviously, probably one of the biggest stars on the planet for a hot minute there with that show.
Yeah, that was a very popular show, Walker.
And so, I mean, he did have a lot of influence. And I do think I remember him speaking out on some things that he felt strongly about. But again, I can't speak to any specifics. If somebody wants to dig him up, go for it. But my whole point is he hasn't gotten involved politically in how many fucking years? The guy hasn't made a movie where he's the star in over a decade or better.
Right.
I mean, the last movie he really was in that was a big movie was The Expendables 2 as a guest star. I think he's done some guest
he was in it for like 1 minute or, total maybe, or,
something like that, And that's what I'm saying. Like, outside of those few appearances that he's done in the last few years, he's been pretty much retired. So
yeah,
I don't even understand why they're.
Well, there was a new movie coming out. There was a new movie coming out which had a Chuck Norris scene in it. I don't know how much in the movie was, but then at the end, the last day of filming, they had a joke and he looked at everyone and everyone pretended to be dead. We'll have to, if someone wants to look up or see what the last. I don't know if the movie came out or I just remember seeing the clip on Twitter.
I don't remember the title, but I seen, there was a listing for a movie for 2026 that he's listed in. So I don't know the context, but yeah.
I doubt he has a huge, I'm guessing he doesn't have a huge role in it. But yeah, if someone could look that up for us in the chat.
And Six says he was very political. And like I said, I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm sure he was, but as of the last 20 years, I don't remember him getting too political.
And hail to Six. Great to hang out with you on Sunday night. Yeah, I just don't remember him being that being the whole, the whole reason of being like a Mark Ruffalo, type or, the great Rob Reiner, who I love, Rob Reiner. And that's fine if you want to do it, but I guess that Variety article, that's what we're pointing out where, they kind of say it was kind of tarnished by his political views, quote unquote. I'm messing up the paraphrasing.
Well, according to Google AI, he shifted to Republican. Norris was a former Democrat and changed parties, stating that modern Republicans align better with the values Democrats held 40 years ago. It doesn't say a time frame when he did that. Did
Chuck live in California? Was he a Reagan Republican or where did he live?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I always kind of saw him as that, but I'm not 100% sure. He's done endorsements for Mike Huckabee and Donald Trump, I guess. He did in 2016 and 2020.
He did for Trump, yeah.
I didn't even see those, so there you go.
Depends on where you live, too. Like, in Connecticut, we didn't get many political ads, thankfully, because Trump had no chance there, so they only spend money, yeah.
Here's where they start to come after him a little bit more. He has been vocal on social issues, appearing in 2012 ad warning that Obama's re-election would lead to 1,000 years of darkness. He also voiced support for conspiracy theory regarding military training in Texas in 2015. And Norris has championed gun rights. Opposed federal government expansion and called for evangelical involvement in politics. So yeah, that's why they're going after him right there.
But I didn't think he was Six. Obviously he was political and had his views, but I don't think he was more political than most of these Hollywood, types. Types are, and especially I guess it's one thing to write about it in the article, but to put it in the headline, that's kind of crappy. Like,
I don't know what he's talking about, 1,000 years of darkness, but I'm just glad that he saved us from it. That's all I know.
Yeah, he saved us from the Buffy reboot, but
I don't know.
But Alyssa Milano, does she still act anymore, or is she just like a political activist? That's what I'm wondering. What was the last thing? The last thing she did, I really liked her. And Who's the Boss? Right? She was Who's the Boss, and some Charm. She was good, and she was a fun actress. But then she just pivoted to being, solely about politics. But I think also it's part of it. It's like sore. People don't like someone, and they just want to take it,
Yeah.
take it out on people too. So, and especially when someone passes away, that's even worse, worse too, I think. So, but it doesn't surprise me. Chuck would be like, that's a stereotype too, right? Like I always assume everyone in the military, quote unquote, would be like a right wing Republican. Not necessarily, and it's definitely not true. But you might, you think, oh well, if you're in the Army and Special Forces or whatever, you're going to be a conservative, but not necessarily. But that's like that's the stereotype of like a gun toting, sheriff or someone in law enforcement or the roles that he played, or karate guy. So yeah, but he really shaped America in the 80s in terms of entertainment, and like you said, Tom, like what was popular in culture. Like, yeah, we had Mr. T in the 80s, the A-Team, the real macho dude, but you had all these macho shows like David Hasselhoff, right?
Yeah, he was a guy's guy. It was the kind of stuff that, dads would watch, however you want to put it. Like,
yeah.
But kids loved him too, and he had his own cartoon and action figures.
Yeah.
Shit, what else did they have with him? I mean, he was a brand, and that's kind of what I was getting at too, as far as like he fit in with like Mr. T and those people. It's like he kind of became a brand all on his own.
Yeah.
He even had his own pants, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, the karate pants. Yeah,
and he was big with the Bowflex home gym thing, and
yeah,
all that kind of business. And then every time you turn around, you'd think he was, kind of on the way out. He would turn around and have like a, Walker Texas Ranger kind of thing happen for him. He got lucky. So yeah.
And we got Brian with a question. Did you know Chuck Norris was the first choice for Red Foreman in that '70s show? How do you think he would have done in that role? What do you think, Tom?
Cannot picture him in that role. Not as the same character, no.
Yeah. No. I could picture him as like a gun-toting, kick-ass dad, but yeah, I can't picture him as Red. I think he would have done an okay job, but it would have been a different it would have been a different totally different show, I think.
You're a dumbass.
Double dumbass on you.
Well, and I think Kurtwood has the right attitude.
Yeah.
He looks like Wisconsin dads because he is from Wisconsin. And he has the same attitude. Like, he knows. And I think this is why I rub some people the wrong way. It's like, you got to understand, the weather in Wisconsin sucks, okay? We deal with so much bullshit weather and all that kind of crap that you get to a point where your life is just an endless stream of bullshittery. So you always sound like you're fucking annoyed by every little stupid thing. I understand Red. In fact, the more older I get, the more I understand Red. Because you just get to a point where it's like, I've had enough of this bullshit, and I live in Wisconsin. Like life couldn't be any goddamn worse. I could live in some place that's nice and be dealing with all this bullshit. Why do I have to be stuck here? Fuck.
Fuck, yeah.
So.
Yeah. And Six is saying, that Variety article was just an op-ed.
I'm sharing it in the background here just in case people are curious what I was talking about, but we got to get to your
we could. I didn't see that was there yet. Because,
no big deal.
I'm wearing my glasses tonight.
And I don't plan on reading it or going through it, but this is what it
skim
is.
It. Yeah.
But he does. It's just a guy, he like hides behind the fact that he's supposedly a fan himself by dropping all these nuggets of, his career, stuff that you could find just by looking at a Wikipedia for that matter.
Yeah.
But, and then of course he attacks him for basically being a Republican. And it's like, okay, so what was your point of doing this? And the guy has been getting raked over the coals on X and in the comments here on the actual thing. If I go down here, because like you got people who are like, politics have nothing to do with his death, and a lot of people are agreeing with that. This is the dumbest thing I ever read.
Yeah.
And this is obviously written by a very shallow person with very little knowledge of Chuck Norris. Please do your research and find out why Chuck changed from being a Democrat. This is lazy journalism written for cheap clicks. I mean, it is not a very well written article. And the guy who wrote it, I mean, yeah, I'm not even.
You can just tell. You can just tell from reading the article that
yeah.
that's so slanted. Especially that's in the headline. If you'd written a couple of paragraphs about how Chuck was politically active and voiced his opinion, and it's like I didn't read the full article, but just from reading that headline, I'm like, I don't want to waste my time reading this shit. So that's what I have an issue with. It's like, yeah, well, let's make it fair, right? But yeah, you've got to obviously mention he was involved in politics and did have his viewpoints he wanted to give out. But,
I mean,
yeah,
honestly, if I ever see another article again that has quote unquote like, I love so and so, but we need to talk about this.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna it's like, why are you writing this thing?
Yeah. He was the greatest guy
gives a shit.
ever, other than the fact he was a serial killer.
Right. Well, yeah. It's like, are we gonna get those for Bill Cosby when he dies too, or what?
Right.
like, let's say the obvious shit out loud here, kids.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yes, Bill Cosby was a great comedian, but let's talk about the less colorful things in his life. Like, duh, we all know.
Yeah.
Trust us, it's gonna be a weird day the day he dies. I can foresee that right now. It's gonna be like when OJ died. Okay,
but like that's the time honored thing. Question. Can you still enjoy the Cosby Show when you watch the Cosby Show? I mean, can you listen to Gary Glitter's music? I think they pulled it out of most stadiums.
That's a tough one. I mean, well, the beauty of Gary Glitter's music is I don't think he sees a dime of anything that it makes.
Yeah,
so that's a little easier. You can kind of whatever on that. Now the Cosby thing, it's really difficult because we grew up with him as America's dad.
Everyone loved Bill Cosby,
right? And now you got to deal with the fact that America's dad is a diddler, right? For lack of a better term, because we don't want to get you in trouble on here.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you come to terms with something like that, right? It is difficult.
Can you watch the Cosby Show anywhere right now?
I can't. I haven't.
No. I mean, is it streaming? Is it?
Oh yeah. You can find it places. It's out there.
They didn't pull it completely, right?
No, in fact, one of I can't remember who it was, that Kevin Sorbo, whoever it was, that just posted a clip of it a week ago when he was talking about how the version on streaming he was watching of the Cosby Show is edited, and I'm like, Kevin, you should know.
Yeah.
They and I've noticed this with if you basically are watching a version of a show on a streaming service that you didn't pay for or buy, chances are it's going to be the syndicated cut. Don't ask me why. I noticed this with MASH and a bunch of other shows.
Oh yeah, even though they have the time, they don't usually have as many commercials. Yeah, or there's no commercials, right? If it's streaming.
Yeah, but for some reason, MASH on Hulu, Disney Plus is the 22-minute cuts. Now,
that's weird because MASH I was watching. They had the 16. No, I just want to say they had the MASH. They had the 16:9 HD was streaming on Hulu.
That's also what they do. Yeah.
So did they pull that, or you can still get it?
That's the way it's on Hulu and streaming, as far as I know. Now, if you buy it, I haven't bought it yet. I'm thinking about doing it, like because I saw it on Fandango and it was on sale and I missed out on it, but I'm waiting for it to come back on sale again. I went in and looked, and the episodes are the full length. Now I don't know what frame they're in. That I can't speak to yet, but I can tell you that they are the 24-minute running time. And I even pulled out my old DVD because at first I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right here. Because I was a joke that I remembered, and I'm like, it's not there. I'm like, am I fucking misremembering this episode? And I went back to my DVD, and I noticed right away that the running time on the DVD was 2 minutes longer or whatever it was than the other one. And then, so I was like, okay. And I figured this out a while ago. So I'm like, oh, okay. So when they license these out, chances are they must be the syndicated versions. And that even happened to some DVD releases.
Yeah, why would they do that?
Because sometimes those were the only masters they had left. Elf is a grand example of that. For some reason, when they did the original releases, they only had the syndicated cuts. So that when Shout Factory did that box set a few years back here, that was the big deal, is they had found some masters in the UK that didn't have all the edits done to them. So
Oh, wow. So Mexican Iron Man must have bought like 20 copies of that.
He's got like 20 copies of it that he wants to destroy.
Yeah. He was actually aside here. Yeah, he was on Stone Cold Loki's last week. Mike made his appearance on the YouTube.
Yeah, a little shit.
Little shit. He's given up the YouTubes pretty much, but he went on Stone Loki to talk. But he was worried about having to maybe move to Connecticut, so I got to give him some shit because Connecticut's awesome, right?
Yeah, he's been dealing with a lot of stuff, but
yeah. God bless Mikey.
Hopefully we see a little bit more of him.
Yeah, once in a while, yeah. But he said he's given up the tubes of Ube, unfortunately. But I'd love to see him on once a month or something, or once in a while.
You're from New Lisbon, Lenrod?
I'm catching up to the chat here.
I'm actually I grew up a half hour from New Lisbon.
It's catch up.
My daddy's my son's mommy, daddy, whatever you want to call it. Fucking my son's mother is actually from there too. So yeah.
So what is that in Wisconsin you're talking about? Or
yeah, it's a little shitbird.
Yeah. Little shitbird. Yep.
Yeah,
and Brian says, "Yeah, Wisconsin weather never makes sense."
You're telling me
winter one day, then spring the next. I understand. Tom.
It is 31 fucking degrees outside. We had a blizzard. And 80-degree weather this week, and it was sleeting, hail, and all that shit today.
Sorry, I'm laughing.
Fucking 80 degrees the other day. And then today it's fucking hail.
Yeah.
You tell me.
Shit. Lenrod, sorry, buddy. He says, not so great. Totaled my car yesterday. I hope you're okay and feeling good. Well, not good, but, physically okay, Lenrod. And kind of hurting. No, he says kind of hurting. Otherwise, fine. Well, thank God you're safe, but
damn,
it's scary. Was it? I don't know where. I forget where Lenrod's located. Was it bad weather, or you don't have to put any details in? But I'm just glad you're okay. Yeah, that's freaking scary. Yep. So yeah, really tough. Yep. Oh, and everyone's subbed to Mrs. Dadman here. Oh, and I did want to push. We're trying to get Sam. Let me put her channel in. Our buddy Sam, trying to get her over to 100 subs, and I always forget to put her because I have I can remember Parker Stevenson one was on the first season of Baywatch, but then I forget other stuff that I should know. But we wanted to put Sam's channel there because she interviews military veterans, and she's trying to get. We want to get her to 100 subs, then she can change her. She got her new channel name here. Okay, so let me put Sam's in. So we're talking about patriotic Americans. So everyone could sub to Sam Wolf, Life of a Military Wife, and I keep forgetting to, as I said, to put her name in there. And I'm just thinking of that now too. So if everyone here we got like 35 people here now. Everyone's got a big crowd here tonight, so appreciate that. And if everyone could go sub to Sam Wolf, and she's transcribing and recording military veterans, so their stories don't get forgotten. And she's doing that on her channel. So if you could give her a sub and a like, that'd be awesome. And Six is saying that's all they want people to read the headline. They don't even get into the politics until the end. Yeah, I just read the headline and I said I'm not reading this. Right? Yeah. But yeah, they do. Yeah, Lenrod. Yeah, do. You get your clicks, right? Click rage, right? You get annoyed by it, and then you click on it and you read it, right? Yep. So, Six says OJ died. That was a while ago, right? How long ago did OJ die, Tom?
God, it had to be at least 5 years ago now, maybe more.
Yeah, when did he croak? Yeah, 2024. April 10th, 2024. So not that long ago yet. Not that long ago yet. Yep.
Time is weird since COVID. That's all I know.
Yeah. And talk about someone everyone loved too, the Juice, right? He was on TV in the 70s, the 80s, doing those Hertz. Was it Hertz or Avis or Hertz?
I was gonna say. I mean, like he was like one of those guys
everywhere.
That was, just as revered or whatever as, Chuck Norris and some other guys. Like he was an athlete and seen as a good American, role model.
Yeah, right.
Shit happens.
Yeah, and then he turned it. Yeah, he was one of the greatest running backs in history, and he's got the record for the best season ever. They keep adding games so people can catch up to him, but played for the Buffalo Bills. But yeah, he's in the top 5 running backs of all time. You could make an argument that he could have been the greatest of all time, and then but he had that personality that just everyone freaking loved his his persona, right? Yeah, he obviously didn't know what he was really was like, but yeah, he was.
Six says he
everywhere.
was innocent. I mean, he did write that book that about how if he did do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
sure
but I
wouldn't have got caught.
Yeah, I think pretty much I'd be willing to bet a lot that he did it, but especially that crime, that kind of crime of passion. It even the glove didn't fit.
If the glove does not fit, you must acquit.
I don't think he should be acquitted. Yep, and then of course racial politics got into that, and
this is Chewbacca. He is a Wookiee.
Yeah.
What does he have to do with this case? Absolutely nothing. So what does DNA have to do with this case? Absolutely nothing. I rest my case.
But yeah, it's just another example of someone who's just like when you heard that, you're like, what? There's no freaking way. Like the Juice, OJ, everyone loves the Juice. He's such an awesome guy, right? So
yeah.
I mean, that's yeah, it's just
well, and that's kind of the problem with hero worship in a way, right?
Right.
But at the same time, I guess you could do. I think our whole point to kind of bring it back around is you could do much worse than Chuck Norris, right? I think at the end of the day, I mean, he made it to 86. He defeated life. Godspeed, Mr. Norris. Now let's get into his facts because I mean,
let's get into his facts. Yeah. So let me show this. Well, these are some of these fun things here. Oh, and Cabe says, Gary was still getting paid.
I thought that the way that the way the court case was set up is that his victims get the money directly.
Yeah, they've changed that a few years back.
Maybe, yeah.
Stop paying him and use it as music. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So. But
same here, 6.
Yeah.
Honestly, I miss Cosby's stand-up more than anything. Like, even not too long ago, I was talking to somebody, another YouTuber. I'm not going to name names. Let's just say they have a young kid they just had, and it's their second young one in a row. And I said, it's sad. I hate that Cosby's canceled because there's a perfect skit where he talks about how the first child tricks you into having a second child. And I said, you should listen to it, but it's Bill Cosby. He's like, I don't know if I can get myself. I know, but it's like 100% right. It's so true.
Yeah.
And I mean, the whole joke of it is, of course, the first child comes out and goes, mother, father, welcome, or hello. And you say, welcome, child, welcome to the world. And the child's like, what time do you like to get up in the morning? Oh, usually about 7, 8 o'clock. Well, don't worry, I'll sleep until 9 or 10. What time do you like to go to sleep at night? About 10, 11 o'clock. Don't worry, I'll be in bed by 8. I'm a perfect child, perfect angel. And it's so wonderful and so great that you decide to have another child. And that child comes out with flames shooting out of its head, smoking a cigar, and saying, hello, mother and father. Asking the same questions. What time do you like to get up in the morning? Oh, about 7 or 8. Tough! I will get you up at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 a.m. Just the whole bit. It's hilarious because it's so accurate. It's like,
you did channel some good Cosby there. I heard Cosby's voice. Nice job. Yeah.
Oh, and the OBKB. I mean, come on. Going to the dentist has to be one of the greatest comedy bits of all time.
Well, there's a reason why it was so popular, right? I mean, there's a reason why I could sell Jello Pops. And hail to RJ Godzilla. He says, hi, Mark. Sorry I'm late. Well, I was very late tonight because I held everyone up for the UConn game. But thank you for being here, RJ. And Teague says, laugh track. Oh, that's controversial on MASH.
That's
you
what
can
I
watch
love
it now
about
on the DVD.
Yeah,
you
but
can turn it off.
I hope they'll bring. They haven't done it to Blu-ray yet. I want it in HD on Blu-ray and the same choice. Yes.
Yeah, because that show was filmed on film, so they can do they could and it was actually, what did they have to do to make MASH widescreen? That I couldn't believe it when I saw
off the top and the bottom.
No, it wasn't. It was 4:3.
They might have a little. No. They might have a little bit extra on the side. I'd have to go look, but from my memory, from when I was bouncing back and forth from the episode when I was trying to figure out what they cut out.
Yeah, no, because it
looked like they just cropped it in mostly.
Because I was looking at some episodes and they had added. It looked like they added 16:9. It would look like it was off of film stock. I was like, "What the hell is going on?"
They usually are, but it depends on how much. See, this is where it depends. Because 35
'Cause it's
millimeter
old.
is basically like a square, like I am right now. Not a square,
Yeah.
but like the 4x3 ish anyway. So you could, if anything, just use the whole open mat for the television version, and that's basically what they would do for widescreen movies that were shot that way. And that's why you would see, the boom mic and a guy who's supposed to be naked walking out of the bed, and he's got boxer shorts on and shit like that. Clearly. Like you'd see that kind of shit when you're not supposed to. Well, they had the same kind of issues with shows that were shot back then. They would either zoom in a little bit and zoom out and crop out some of the stuff, or they would have, just the full open mat to work with. So in that case, you would only have a square or a 4x3 image. And like even Robert Meyer Burnett talked about, like they wanted to open up because they had extra room on, and some shows do. So this is like I was getting at is like some shows you'll notice this where they'll crop it a little bit, but they do have some to work with on the sides, and they'll do their best to kind of frame it best. Sometimes you'll have shows where they're just literally just cropping them off and they look like shit because you're losing. Simpsons, you're losing too much. Shit ton of jokes.
Yeah, Simpsons should never be cropped.
I don't know why they did that to it, but yeah, there's
bullshit.
There's videos out there that show you about how bad some of those episodes have been butchered.
And it's a TV show. It's not like it's a 2001: A Space Odyssey where you need to like have something completely widescreen or whatever.
But
it's a comedy, but like they don't, God forbid, someone has to see the bars on the side of the screen.
What Robert said about Star Trek Next Generation was they wanted to do it in 16:9 since they were doing all the other enhancements already.
Yeah.
But the problem they had was that since they had zoomed in and cropped off the sides and tops, and did just the 4x3 with a little bit of room to work with, that's where they had like the edge of the set, the boom mic.
Yeah, you couldn't do
stuff
it, right?
like that. So they were kind of screwed. So they just decided to go with the 4x3 image as opposed to cropping off some of the image that we would normally get to see. Now, the next step is...
I'm glad they did that because I want to see it the way that originally was.
A lot of them are talking about possibly using AI to basically finish off the sides. And that's a possibility.
Yeah.
And it might work because I've seen people do it already with stuff and it's kind of seamless. As long as the AI knows what it has to work with, like if it sees something previously or whatever, to where it knows what's supposed to be there shouldn't be too many problems. So it's a possibility. I've seen it done also where they've taken widescreen stuff and made it the long way for the phones. It's ridiculous, but
it's horrible.
Like they did a shot from Indiana Jones, and all it is a bunch of sky and rock. I'm like, just turn your fucking phone sideways.
Yeah, right. And Six likes my tubes of you. Tubes of you.
Tubes of you. But yeah, most shows were shot
Thank
on
you,
film.
Six.
Not very many were actually shot on video outside of live shows, game shows, some sitcoms. The problem is some shows that were before that were shot like live and whatnot were preserved on videotape. So there's no
like Bosom Buddies is only on videotape.
Is it? That could be one of the ones. I think All in the Family is one of the ones that's shot, I think, completely on video, if I'm not mistaken.
And because when the actor died on Bosom Buddies, his co-star, I'm forgetting his name. I was looking for clips, and all the clips looked horrible. And I was researching, like, it was just filmed on to save money, and no one ever knew, HD TV was gonna, exist.
No,
there'd been rumors of it, but. And you're not gonna waste money too on a sitcom, but God, it looks horrible. And I think things look so much worse now on these huge screens that we have too. Don't forget. So we used to have 13-inch TVs. If you were lucky, you had a 27-inch, and if your dad was a billionaire, you had a 32-inch TV. I was in the grocery store the other day, walking down the aisle, $179, 55-inch big screen, name brand TV, and it's in the aisle, next to the potato chips. It's
actually cheaper to get a TV now than it is a phone,
right? That's like holy crappy-oly. Like
unless you want one of the crappiest phones you can buy,
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. So yeah, when you watch on these little TV, so it wouldn't really look that bad on a small little TV. So, we got a question. Oh, we have a super chat from West, but we'll get to that in 1 second. But thank you so much. But we question: why do Mexican Iron Man give up being a YouTuber? Well, I would say go listen to Loki's stream. Let me grab Loki's channel because I think I have the wrong. He changed his channel URL to.
He's just got a lot of real life stuff that just it's not in his schedule really anymore either.
Yeah.
And he has his own reasons. I'm sure that he covers on the Loki stream. So I agree with you. Just check with that. So
yeah, check out the Loki stream. Yeah, Tom's got it right. And just he's running his own business. He's an accountant, and he just said it was too much of a time suck. Not that, and he enjoyed it, and he thanked everyone that he misses some people. He misses people, and but just and he said there's a lot of tubes of bullshit in the background that was driving him crazy too. But he said that on stream. But that was all. And just basically it's just the time that it takes too, because it's a lot of time to prep for the shows, and if you're watching a movie, and I love doing it, but I probably spend, like for Toxic Tuesday, probably spend 2 to 3 hours getting ready for that show, every week, and doing the slideshow, which I enjoy a lot. And this show, at least I'm doing prep during the week, trying to find articles, and it's all fun, but time adds up, and I think it was just for his well-being. But maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of him. But he's a fun guy. He had some great rants on that show. He's hysterical, Mike. He's awesome. So shout out to Mexican Iron Man. But yeah, go find that episode when he was on a few weeks ago.
I was gonna say I hadn't even heard it, so I didn't know all he said. But yeah, I was gonna say the number one thing that bothered him was probably the drama.
Yeah, he hates the drama. Yeah, and I do too. Yeah, just can't we all get along?
Well, speaking
just
of
like
drama,
real world,
one person who is less dramatic in his drama than anybody I know was Chuck Norris.
Right?
Because as that first thing there says, Chuck Norris's tears cure cancer. Too bad he has never cried.
Right?
There you go. That's true.
And when the bogeyman goes to sleep every night, you put that one on the song. He checks his closet for Chuck Norris.
I love that one.
Well, why don't we play the song? Why don't we play the song?
We could. Why don't we?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me play the song here. Let me just freaking. I guess I can.
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, it was such a great song.
I feel like I have to do it's got to be a trilogy or something like that.
Yeah, I got to add to it. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. I got to remove one of my clips. One of my beloved.
You thought the legend was done, but let me tell you some more, son. Yeah.
Let's take out. Let's say we gotta take out one clip. I hate taking out. StreamYard, could you give us like 150 clips or something?
Oh, I know. Don't you hate that? But
it's like 100 clips.
What I end up doing is I get to a point where I don't really use this one anymore, and I get rid of it.
Yeah,
and then the next time I do a show, it's like, God damn it!
Yeah,
I could have used it
here
now.
we go. I'll take this one out. Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. Let me add that clip here. Yeah. Let me add Chuck Norris. Yeah. Oh no, I got to find it. Where did I put it under? I think I put it under. Did I put it under music? Or did
I played that.
Under...
I had Rhino play that last night for the intro for RhinoCast / Splashcast, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Great. All right, here we go. It's a big one, so it's loading. But and hail to my friend Geoff. I don't share my data, even though there's traffic cameras everywhere in where you're at in Connecticut, and you got a cell phone, buddy. No, I can't stand how privacy is dead. But they freaking I'm friends with the police chief in town, and someone tried to break into my mom's car, so I called them on the cell phone at like 3 a.m. And,
you know what?
He's like.
Oh, finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. He's like, well, we're gonna check all the license plate cameras, and they got the guy. But I was like, you have license plates? He's like, yeah, of course we got license plate cameras. It's like, they know you when you're coming or going. You need one of those James Bond, license plate rolling things. Yeah. So, Jeff says, yeah, death once had a near Chuck Norris experience, right? Yeah. That's another classic one. So,
well, no, I'm
still playing.
Yeah. Anyway,
go ahead. Sorry, Tom. Yep.
No, you're fine. Go ahead. I was just
No,
going to say,
it's
like,
still uploading. It's still uploading. Yep.
yeah, I didn't know if we needed more time to kill because, like, I was going to say, like, I'm watching these, a lot of these, like, true crime videos, and I watch a lot of cop videos and stuff like that sometimes. And I'm sitting here going, you know what? I think DNA is bullshit. And I'm starting to think that maybe Johnny Cochran was right. Because it's like I'm watching these videos anymore, and it's like, I swear these cops could have never solved a crime before they had all these cameras everywhere on doorknobs and on businesses and on fucking stoplights and shit. Because now all of a sudden, thanks to those cameras, they can 9.9 times out of 10 figure out who the fuck killed somebody or did something because they catch them on some camera in some area they say they weren't. That's 9 times out of 10 how they solve one of these crimes. And I'm like, so all this time I'm thinking maybe DNA was bullshit for the scientists to just go, yeah, it's a chance that this was the person who did it. Like, I don't know. I'm just joking, but yeah.
Yeah. But I think
it sure does seem like a good tool for them lately. I'll tell you.
Oh my God! You know, my in our town we had some notorious murders that were unsolved, and some of them are famous nationally, unfortunately. And my dad was at the Lions Club meeting, and they would have lunch. And this was the old police chief, and he's talking to the police chief, and you know, you had like a Q&A, and my dad's like, he was listing like all these unsolved murders. He's like, don't you think that our town is a little bit too welcoming to murderers and they might want to move here? And the police chief was like, no. My dad had like this crazy sense of humor. And the guy's like, no, we're working very hard. And like everyone was laughing at my dad, like the way he framed the question. It was like, are you worried that murderers are going to move here and kill more residents? You know, because all their murders seem to go unsolved. Yeah, and
it's
some
kind
of
of
them
funny
have been
because
made into TV shows, unfortunately.
Well,
yeah.
Because Wisconsin has, you know, at least a couple very famous killers. Right. And I love it when people try to give me shit about that because I'll just turn around and go, well, we caught ours. What's your excuse? Yeah, we may have some prolific ones, but that's because we caught them, right?
We caught them, right? Yeah,
they never caught the Zodiac killer. Shit, they never even caught the Jack the Ripper. So,
right, yeah.
But yeah, you guys have a bunch of unsolved murders, and yeah.
Yeah, did they know who Jack the Ripper? Didn't they think it was a part of the royal family, and then there was some new DNA evidence now maybe for Jack the Ripper?
My understanding, because I went into that rabbit hole a while back, is they were pretty sure after quite a bit of research and all that kind of business, and they had something that supposedly had some DNA and some other shit, and they had a family member who had reason to believe that their great-great-great-grandparent had been the Ripper, so they compared DNA on this thing, so they think it was this basic, it was not like a doctor that they were saying it was and all that kind of other stuff.
Yeah,
it was just a regular guy who just kind of had it out for hookers, I guess.
Yeah,
and like in the famous retelling of the night that the one body was found, there's like one individual who runs into the police officer and says they saw the Ripper running off somewhere. That's the Ripper, I guess. So he literally like told the cops because there's no other way anybody else could have been there and gotten away. Like the way the streets were set up or something like that. I watched this really extensive documentary on it.
Trying to figure out who it was.
Yeah, so they have a pretty good idea now of who it was, but like, what fucking difference does it really make now? Like,
well, just people want to know.
The legend is better than answering the question, really.
But I thought that, you know, for years they thought it was like someone in the royal family was studying to be a surgeon because of the cuts and the scalpels and scalp.
All I know is that Johnny Depp movie based on the comic book is complete bullshit.
Complete bullshit. Yeah. But I thought that and then I heard they found some DNA evidence. I'm like, wow, they've got Jack the Ripper DNA evidence. So I guess they can find out, you know, that's why I was joking. I did the DNA thing with 21 in me or whatever, 28 in me, whatever the heck it is, or one of the other ones, Ancestry, and I put a note like, I'm warning any serial killers or murderers in the family. I'm submitting my DNA, so watch out. But that's how they've actually caught some people. Not necessarily, like the person who has the DNA, but they can tell that you're, you're a relative, like in your family lineage, that it's someone in that lineage. So that, like, they know that Sally Hemings did have an offspring with the Jefferson. Now they can't everyone, 99% thinks it's Thomas Jefferson, but they said it also could have been his brother.
But doesn't this just feed into my whole idea that DNA is bullshit? Because couldn't this just be the latest gimmick? Just like those people that come in the mediums, they're like, I'm getting an H name. Oh, I had an Aunt Harriet. Yes, she says she's an aunt. And her name is Harriet. Yes. It's the same fucking thing. Everybody who does one of these DNA tests, they never get a thing back like, you are not related to anybody of any importance whatsoever goddamn ever. No, well, that sucks. No, you're always related to George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, fucking Joan of Arc, who knows? Like, it's always somebody famous. It's like, oh, wow. No wonder I knew I was somebody cool in my former life. It's just
Steve
feeding into
Mitchum's
that same
got royalty
bullshit.
yeah. But then the guy that was doing that, then he was finding out, like, everyone that had slave owners in their past was like, oh, God, oh, no.
I'm second cousins with Elvis Presley. Who knew?
Who knew? Yeah, where's my Cadillac? And hail to Keely Chow. Roll Tide. I think Alabama won today, right, Keely? In the basketball? I don't know if you must be a Alabama basketball fan, too. Good midday and afternoon from Hong Kong. So across the universe in Hong Kong. That's awesome, yep.
Yeah. Chuck Norris doesn't read books. He stares them down until he gets the information he wants. This is a true story.
Yeah. Time waits for no man unless that man is Chuck Norris.
And it's usually about an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah. And Chuck Norris can slam a revolving door. Defies basic mechanics. Ironic. Well, and I hate revolving doors. I have like a phobia about them. I hate them. I hate fucking revolving doors. Yeah, I always try to go through the side door if I can. Yeah. So
I don't hate them, but they kind of remind me of roundabouts. I'm kind of like, are they really more efficient, or are they just stupid? And somebody sold somebody on a stupid idea and made it sound like it was a good one.
Yeah.
Because really, you got 12 windows now instead of just 2.
Well, the idea is you keep the you're keeping the air pressure constant. Like the Syracuse Dome, before they changed the roof, they had to have revolving doors because if you opened all the doors, the roof would collapse.
The more Tom knows.
Yeah. So certain but I hate him. I'm like always.
See, now at least you
I'm
explain
gonna
that
get trapped
to me.
in it.
But nobody can explain to me why a roundabout makes more fucking sense than a stop sign or a yield sign.
Traffic calming. That's why they like doing them. It allegedly slows down traffic. Yeah.
Oh yes, they do, and that's why I hate them.
Yeah. So that's
Who the fuck wants to slow down when they're in traffic? Literally, fucking nobody.
Yeah.
Even the cops are back there going, come on! Like, what the fuck?
Well, if you put a rotary in, because like all the incoming and outgoing traffic, like going to Cape Cod, if you live up in the Northeast, like a Friday night was freaking notorious because you had Cape Cod because everyone that's leaving and entering is actually interacting at the same time because you've got all these effing rotaries in Massachusetts. I think they finally got rid of a couple of the ones going to Cape Cod, or put just because you're intermixing all the traffic. It's like, this fucking sucks. You'd spend there, get stuck for like a half hour every time in the freaking rotary. So it was evil, but just crazy traffic getting to Cape Cod on a Friday night. It was ugly. It was ugly. Yep. And Wallace says the only Star Trek I'm interested in watching anymore is the original series and the animated series. Can't argue with that. Yep. And Godzilla says when Satan heard Chuck Norris died, he decided to call Armageddon because Satan now knew he'd definitely lose. LOL. Yep. Let's read a couple more of these. Yeah, they tried to put Chuck Norris's face on Mount Rushmore, but the granite wasn't tough enough for his beard. Chuck Norris was once bitten by a king cobra. After 10 excruciating minutes, the cobra died. Yep. And of course,
true story.
Death once had a near Chuck Norris experience. Yeah. So, let's see if the song loaded up now. Let's see if it. All right, here we go. So we got 3 minutes, 11 seconds of goodness. Thanks to Tom Connors for doing these lyrics, and I.
Well, you did the heavy
I found a
lifting
bunch
with
of
the
clips.
editing.
And, yeah. Well, it was fun to do, and I put all these clips together of the great Chuck Norris. So let's enjoy the opening to Toxic Tuesday for Chuck Norris month that we just had last month. So here we go. Enjoy.
Chuck Norris! Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris! Yeah, the time has come. A man must rise. No occasion will stop him. Nothing can harm him, no matter how mean, no matter the size. Chuck Norris will win. I know you may not think it's possible. When Chuck Norris was born, he drove his mom home from the hospital. I don't know, you may have heard, Chuck Norris can kill 2 stones with 1 bird. Listen here, I tell no lies. Chuck Norris destroyed the periodic table because Chuck Norris only recognized the element of surprise. When Chuck is around, you'd better get on your knees, cause when God said, let there be light, Chuck Norris said, say please. He's a man that takes command. He'll rise to any occasion. Bad guys be damned. Let's tell the entire nation. You know Chuck don't take no lip. Chuck Norris doesn't flush the toilet. He scares the shit out of it. You know I don't need to tell you why. When Chuck Norris slices onions, the onions cry. He's never had a cold and never had lice. Chuck Norris counted to infinity twice. I don't know about you, but I can tell you this. When the boogeyman goes to sleep at night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. He checks his closet for Chuck Norris. Chuck Norris. Yeah! Yeah, Chuck Norris! It's that time! That time to get gay! Time for Chuck Norris month on Toxic Tuesday! Yay! 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 Yay!
All right. Well, that's an amazing
Yeah.
piece of work by Tom, and yeah, that was really fun tribute to Chuck. And wow, we got so many people here tonight. I can't keep up with the chat, which I guess is a good problem. But I saw Jill popped in, so hail to the great anti-derivative Jill. Thank you for being here. And I just got to roll through this chat and try to catch up. Oh, head case. I'm getting in trouble for reading this one. Chuck once asked a woman to calm down, and she did. Oh, well, I hope my wife is not watching this one tonight. I'm a big troll for that one. That was toxic. That belongs on the Toxic Tuesday.
Oh, you ever
chat.
hear about the time that he went to a feminist rally?
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Yeah, he came home with his shirt ironed and a pie.
And a couple of sandwiches, right? Yep.
And sandwiches. That's true, yeah.
So let me skim through these chat. And I apologize everyone that's here that I'm trying to catch up to the chat, but thank you. Yeah, we have almost like 35 people here right now hanging with us, remembering the great Chuck Norris. Yeah, and I love that. You know, I was hearing that song in my head. It's got a great it's great music. I mean, it's good. It's good music. Yeah, yeah.
I am kind of good at doing the hooks. I'll give you that.
It's got a good hook to it. Yeah.
Well, and I mean, I do try to add a little human element to it. I do try to write the music, even if it's just like a little bit of like just the rhythm or whatever it is, or something to it. Like I'll try to do something like that. But like, yeah.
And then the AI takes it from there, right? Yeah.
And then I write the lyrics, and yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
In this case, of course, I took the facts, but like I said, the challenge was like a puzzle of going backwards and trying to fit in those facts to whatever come before it to make it a verse.
To make it match, to make it go together well. Yep. Oh, we
I'm
got
sure
another
if I spent
super
enough
chat.
time, I could get enough multiple facts that lined up, but then it's like, nah, I kind of want to make sure I got the best ones in there. So yeah. Anyway,
let me get to the super chat because I think I missed the Well, I did mention Wes. Awesome super chat here. Said, I hear a lot about Chuck Norris memes, but that one where he doesn't flush the toilet, he scares the shit out of me. Generally made me laugh. Yeah, that's a great one, and thank you so much for that super chat, Wes Cagle, and also you would. Who would give and you had given a super chat before. All in the Family is the best. Archer is my hero. I gotta get some Archer
Boyd
clips
and
in here.
Waglin Millet played.
So let's play a few clips for the great Wes Cagle here. Let's let me. I'm not gonna play the glitter vomit. No, let's not do that. Let's switch to let's try movies from N to Z. Let's see which under that panel there. Let's see here. What do we got?
You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. And you're no match for my brains.
You're that smart.
Let me put it this way. Have you ever heard of Plato, Aristotle, Socrates?
Yes?
Morons.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You know,
I can
that
see-
movie is kind of like John Carpenter making a Chuck Norris movie without Chuck
Right?
Norris.
Right? Exactly. Roddy is great at it, but yeah,
He
that
just
would have
got
been
Roddy Piper instead. Yeah.
yeah, that would have been a perfect Chuck Norris vehicle. Yeah, I can picture Chuck in
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Yep, and Wes likes it. Yep, Piper, the man. Oh, I love Roddy Piper.
You know,
God
Chuck
rest
would have
his
just
soul
cut
too.
half of his lines. That's all.
Yeah, and High Boy says Tom likes his hooks.
I do.
Yeah. West, I can't spell either, so don't worry about it. Spelling is optional these days anyway.
We
The
can't
freaking-
spell either, so we read misspellings correctly.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
can,
Yeah.
determine it.
Chuck Norris once peed in a gas tank of a truck as a prank. That's how Optimus Prime came to be. Right? And hail to Cypher Chaos. Great to have you here. And Darren M is here. The great mod. Yep. Lenrod, TZ Burton, Keely Chow. And hail to Jill. Let's see. I'm doing just fine. I went to the beach today. Oh, I was going to say something mean about you, but it was pretty cold and rainy here today, Jill. I'm sorry, but how are you? Yeah. Oh, Yvette, another. Yes, I heard about that. Saw that on Twitter. Had passed away, so I did not know her personally, but I saw that on Twitter. So very sad to all her friends out there that she had passed. Keely says Chuck Norris once went skydiving in Japan. That's how Hiroshima and Nagasaki actually happened. Yep. Was that Jackie Chan? No, that's the great Bruce Lee that Chuck Norris is fighting at the end. So, and Way of the Dragon. I guess that's probably his best. I mean, I don't know if you consider it more of it's definitely a Bruce Lee vehicle. Obviously, he's the star, but Top's most critical list, 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, highest rated on many aggregators. The legendary final fight against Bruce Lee in the Coliseum. It's Chuck's early breakout, showcasing his martial arts skills against the GOAT. If you want historical significance plus killer fight choreography, start here. Yeah, if you're a martial arts fan, you gotta watch Way of the Dragon, right? There's no excuse for you, no excuse. We've got another super chat here. Thank you so much for all these super chats. Thank you, Cypher Chaos. Says, don't know if you've said this one. They once had a street named after him, but they had to change it because no one crosses Chuck Norris and lives.
That's good.
Oh, that's a freaking awesome one. Oh, yeah, that could be like the part 2 of the video, right? Yep. So let's play some more fun clips here. Let's try TV and movies from N to Z again, right? Yep. Here we go. So let's see. How about this
True
one?
love is the greatest thing in the world. Except for a nice MLT, a mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich when the mutton is nice and lean and the tomatoes are ripe. They're so perky. I love that.
Let's get a few more for that great Cypher Chaos.
Do you feel this vehicle is safe for highway travel?
Yes, I do. Yes, I really do. I believe that. I know it's not pretty to look at, but it'll get you where you want to go.
But I pity the fool.
I pity the fool.
And by the way, they're real and they're spectacular.
Don't do drugs and go
Don't
to
do
school.
drugs.
Just don't do drugs in school.
Yeah. Thank you, Cypher Chaos. That's so nice of you.
That was pretty much what Mr. T would say.
Right? Yeah. It's Mr. T is still kicking ass, right? He's
Still is,
follow him on
yes.
Twitter. He's fun. Yeah, he's fun to see. Yep. Great message from Mr. T. He loves his mom, and his mom is number one. The way he takes care of his mom is great.
Be a good citizen.
Great example. Yep. So
Eat your oatmeal.
Eat your oatmeal. Yep. And do your chores. Yep. Oh, Brian Parth. He mentions Invasion USA. I'm in trouble here. I mean, you know my Invasion USA story, Tom, right?
I'm trying to remember. I'm sure. I remember we did it on Toxic Tuesday, and I'm sure you told it. And I'll be like, until you start telling them, be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, I got to refresh your memory. So, I'm in high school, and don't anyone youngins or anyone's listening, do not emulate this. This is not recommended. But I was one of my friends' moms was away for the weekend, and so we could, it's party at Vinny's house. My buddy Vinny, and so we're of course, what movie we're going to watch in 1985, right? We're going to watch Invasion USA. I mean, there's really no other choice, right? Or was it 86? When did Invasion USA come out? Was it 85?
It came out about 84, 85, somewhere in there, yeah.
Right, yeah, 85, right? So we rented, it was on VHS, obviously, back in the Stone Ages. Vinny's girlfriend, Colleen, who ended up entering the military and had a great career and has a great career, but
all because of this movie. No.
So shout out to Colleen, even though no. So she goes to, we had at a fifth of vodka. We'd have bought, alcohol somehow. And so she goes like, and I really hadn't had that much to drink growing up, like Swiss side. We always had wine, like that would let me drink some wine or beer, but never drank in excess. And so Colleen goes, I bet you can't chug that. I'm like, I'll show you, B. And so I take the fifth of vodka and I chug that mother Budrucker. So I chug the vodka, and I'm watching Invasion USA, and I'm not feeling that good. And I start yelling at my friends, guys, stop spinning the room. Who the F is spinning the room? Bucky, could you stop spinning the room? And they're like, Mark, the room's not spinning. So I remember I was at the mall scene in Invasion USA, and the room is spinning around and spinning around and spinning around. I'm like, this is not good. So, I mean, very long story, much shorter. There's some Marc D inaugural rice patties in the backyard from the food that evening. Sorry, that gets a little graphic, but I woke up in the basement next to the kitty litter. They put me in the basement, but basically they're like, and then they said I tried to go out to get my sleeping bag. It took me a half hour to go there and back to my car. I had severe alcohol poisoning. I mean, if I wasn't back then, I was an athlete, in kick-ass shape and working out, playing hockey. I probably would have croaked if I wasn't in that good of a shape. So, they should have taken me to the hospital. But we were just going to put you in your truck and roll you down the street if you if you died. I'm like, thanks, guys. And back then I weighed 185, believe it or not. And on Monday when I went to put my jeans on, and you have the same notch on your belt, I put my jeans on and they fell off to my ankles. I got on the scale. I was 160 pounds. I went from 185 to 160, and that was a few days later. And the kicker, the kicker was, I had massive alcohol poisoning. I just chugged a fifth of vodka like a moron.
Right.
And it was my sister's first Holy Communion that Sunday. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Yeah, it must have been Sunday. That Sunday, yeah. So I was upstairs I'm like, Mom, I don't feel so good. So years later, I told her what really happened. I don't believe it. You were an Eagle Scout. You would never do that. I'm like, well, we all do stupid things, right? I wasn't trying to I wasn't trying to do that, but my cousins, like, I remember I came down at like 5 o'clock or something. Like, you don't look so good. I'm like, yeah, I had a bad night, But I was really, we joke about it now, but it's like I really should have been in the hospital with my, stomach getting pumped. But that's my Invasion USA story. So I never wanted to finish Invasion USA, so I didn't do that until Toxic Tuesday. So I survived Invasion USA. But that's my story, and please don't clip this.
So you got through alcohol poisoning because of Chuck Norris, is what you're saying?
Yeah. That's a pretty damn good movie too. I do like, once I watched it, it was pretty good. Yeah. So
don't fuck with Chuck.
Don't chug a fifth of vodka. It's
don't do that.
Not a good idea. Yeah. And hey, Canadian Spider-Man, how's it going, Canadian Spider-Man? Yeah. So great to have you here on Sunday night, and of course Jill is here too. Let me scroll through this chat here. My girlfriend in '86 was named Colleen as well. Yeah. And let's see, Godzilla attacks Japan because if you knew, went to America, Chuck Norris would have killed him. Yeah. And Lenrod was born in '86, so yeah. Yeah, no one drinks like a high schooler or doesn't know his limits. That was me that night, right? I had no freaking idea. And that's a dangerous thing about chugging something, right? Because you're chugging, then you're done. Yep. And Canadian Spider-Man was he had not met MJ by 1986, unfortunately. Yeah. So
Canadian MJ.
I mean, I said the Canadian Spider-Man had no girlfriend in '86. We hadn't yet MJ. I'm joking. Like
I know Canadian MJ.
Oh, Canadian MJ. Okay, there we go. Yep. See, the effects of the alcohol are still
the
effects of the alcohol are still lingering from 1985.
I guess so. It's like brain damage.
Yeah, I don't know how many brain cells I lost that night, but
32.
Yeah. So let's 32. Yeah. So we've got let's see here, what Grok picks. So The Way of the Dragon. I'd say that. I guess not really as a starring vehicle, but it's a movie you gotta watch.
It's his first major role,
Yeah, first major thing. So I can see why that's number one. Lone Wolf McQuade. That's a great
That's a good
movie.
one.
Yeah.
That's the one that Walker's loosely based on, yeah.
Right? Yeah, Texas Ranger taking down an arms dealer. David Carradine, who also martial arts expert and his martial art. What was his Carradine's show? The martial arts show.
That was Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. Yep. Thank you. Yep. Code of Silence. Many consider this his most serious and well-made film. Gritty cop thriller. We did that on. We just did that on Toxic Tuesday. Yeah,
Did
Chicago
you?
Detective.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. Hopefully.
Yeah, that was
not tonight. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Yeah, that was. I think that's probably his. One of his better ones, yeah.
The reason I picked it is because I guess it was meant to be a Dirty Harry movie originally.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And Canadian Express says, many a story. Hey, Whistler Ski Resort. Well, you wouldn't party that much there, right? Yep. So Delta Force, which I was mentioning earlier.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Classic 80s over-the-top action. Chuck leads a counterterrorism unit to rescue hostage from a hijacked plane. Inspired by real events, TWA 847, explosion, machine guns, and Chuck mowing down bad guys. Yeah, huge fan favorite for pure spectacle. I'd agree with that. That one on that list. And, of course, like the aforementioned Invasion USA. And it's actually, when I finished that movie 40 years later, it actually holds up pretty well, I have to say, because it's more like he's fighting drug dealers. It's not like an all-out. The title's a little bit misleading in terms of people thinking it's like a whole massive invasion, but it really works. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, the tank scene driving through the suburbs. Yep.
I'm sure it's one of those movies that had a completely different title, but Canon had already sold a movie title Invasion USA with Chuck Norris, and they just put the script with it, probably.
Right. Yeah.
How they usually ran things. That's how Missing in Action 1 and 2 came to be what they were too. So go figure. I wouldn't be surprised.
And Godzilla says Chuck Norris doesn't get alcohol poisoning. Alcohol gets Chuck Norris poisoning. Yeah. Oh, and Canadian Spider-Man's found Mary Jane in Australia in 2001. Oh, that's
So
good.
you took
Yeah,
Australian Spider-Man's Mary Jane. Now what he's supposed to do?
yeah. Yeah, poor guy. And you know they have big knives down in Australia. You
That's
gotta watch
not a
out for
knife.
that. First film I saw with Chuck Norris as Wes Cagle was Way of the Dragon. Second was Good Guys Wear Black, epic, where he does a flying kick through the windshield of the car. Oh yeah, that's an amazing stunt.
I don't know if
that
I
they
should
do.
be proud or I should be ashamed that I own like all these movies pretty much so far that you guys have mentioned and that are on this list and stuff.
You should be proud, I think, right? Otherwise,
maybe,
Chuck Norris
I
is going to
guess.
come kick all of our
Yeah.
asses if we don't own the movie, right?
Guess so.
Let's see. I thought Invasion USA was a Cuban Soviet narco state invasion of the southern U.S. Yeah, but it's more like drug dealers that are backed, but it's not like. And again, I've been damaged by that chugging of alcohol, but memory serves, it was more like drug cartels, like as you said, yeah, narco state invasion, not like. It's not like Red Dawn, right, where the Soviets are
Not quite.
coming across, yeah. But it works. I mean, it actually works better, like, because you initially think, like, oh, well, how's one guy going to fight the whole, Soviet army? And, of course, Chuck Norris could, but it definitely does work as a movie.
That's just another Tuesday for him.
Yeah, right? So, great. Yeah, that was great stuff. Yep. So let's see the other honorable mentions. Yeah, they could have listed more movies here, but yeah, Missing in Action, 84. That's a really great movie. And of course, that one, that's actually the second movie, right, Tom?
Yes. So what happened was there was, I don't know if both scripts had that title or it was basically that Canon had sold that title and Chuck wanted to make this one movie and they already had another script that they wanted Chuck to make and they were very similar. So they made both the movies as a movie and a sequel, but it turned out the sequel, quote unquote, the one that Chuck wanted to make was better than the one that the studio had picked in the first place. So they flip-flopped them and then they call Missing in Action 2 the beginning. So yeah, that's if I'm right, I think that's my understanding of what happened.
Yeah,
so,
no, I think that jogs my my Dane Bamage memory. Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, so Missing in Action 2 became Missing in Action, and then they just released the other one, quote unquote, as a prequel, even though the first one they were filmed in order, was my understanding too. Like,
but yeah, since the other one tested better or whatever you want to call it, yeah.
So let's come out with the first one and release the second one as a prequel, which happens a lot these days too, like Starfleet Academy, right?
Well, at that time, prequels weren't like the norm. Even sequels weren't like. Even Chuck Norris didn't do a whole lot of sequels to his films. Like, it's weird because like Delta Force 2 does not even feel like the same fucking character as the first movie. He has the same name and stuff from my memory, but it's just like. It's almost like they took another script and just slapped Delta Force 2 on it and just changed whatever the character's name was to his name in the first movie because it feels completely unattached.
It's totally different movie.
And it's kind of like Missing in Action is kind of his only real franchise, I guess you would call it. Because otherwise he is the franchise. He is the product, the brand. And that's kind of what I was getting at to begin with.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So he could just do all these movies till the end of time, basically, yeah.
And we've got a super chat from RTNZ. Let me just read Jill's note here. She says, I was a math tutor when I was in university, so our favorite Chuck Norris joke was that Chuck Norris could divide by 0. And as any good math teacher like Jill knows, you cannot divide by 0. So that's awesome. I love that. So let's, the great RTNZ.
Well, and he also counted to infinity twice.
Twice, yeah. Chuck Norris earned a PhD in mathematics for solving an unsolvable maths problem with a single word, violence, because Chuck Norris can solve any problem with violence. So thank you, RTNZ. Let's play a few clips for you, buddy. Thank you so much for that, all the way across the pond there. Well, I do have the math is hard clip here. Oh, here we go. And I'll play a few more. Yep.
Math class is tough.
Let's go to our movies A through M because I have them organized. Let's find a couple of fun ones here. Yep. Let's see.
Just when I think you couldn't possibly be any dumber,
you go and do something like this. And totally redeem yourself!
When are we ever gonna catch a break?
Everything was fine with our system until the power grid was shut off by Dickless here.
Is this true? Yes, it's true. This man has no dick.
Thank you, RT and Zed. Oh, yeah, that's one of the best.
You know what's funny
best
is that the element of surprise joke with him.
Yeah,
it made me think about that. It made me think about him when I was watching the movie tonight, because that one person has that T-shirt that says the element of surprise. A-H.
Okay.
Yeah, so it made me think of that. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah. The element of surprise. Yeah, that's a great line too. Yep. Oh, so many good memes. Yep. I wish I could have got Chuck as Uncle Ben in Spider-Man. Oh, that would have been pretty good.
He wouldn't have died though.
Yeah, that's right. You can't die though, right? Yeah. And Godzilla says math is tough, but not as tough as Chuck Norris. LOL. Yep. And let's finish off this list here. So the Expendables 2. His cameo when he does I was bitten by a cobra. Oh, I do have that clip actually. Let me throw that. Let me upload that clip. Yeah, let me add that to my playlist here. Let's grab that. I think I have one more slot here for the great Chuck Norris. But yeah, and that cameo was just so much fun. And the Expendables, right? He's not in it for any great length of time, but it's a perfect clip and a tribute to those that came before you, right? You want to thank people that help pave a path for you. And those action movies in the 80s were, God, we had so many good ones.
Well, the Expendables was paying homage to a lot of those canon films, and
yeah,
you gotta have Chuck in there.
Yeah, you gotta have Chuck Norris. All those great movies. And we'll talk a little bit about War Machine tonight. That was a throwback movie in a lot of ways too. The classic, just the action movie. So here's the Chuck and the Expendables.
I heard another rumor that you were bitten by a king cobra.
Yeah, I was. But after 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra died.
God bless Chuck. Yeah. So, the numbers don't lie. And they spell disaster for anyone who challenges Chuck Norris to a fight. Yeah. So, yeah, he's really that's just only a cameo in there. And then, same thing with Dodgeball, right? Cameo as a legendary coach shows his comedic timing. Yeah, he was fun in that. Yeah. If you're new to Chuck, go for Lone Wolf McQuaid or Code of Silence for the best balance of action and quality. For ridiculous fun, hit Invasion USA or Delta Force.
Another movie of his that doesn't get enough mention is Sidekicks. And it's weird because he's almost like his own guest star in the movie, because he's only in dream sequences or dream sequences, whatever you want to call it, through about 80% of the movie until he finally shows up at the end in reality. Okay. Have you ever seen it before?
I think I've seen
It's got Jonathan Brandis in it. It's a rip-off of Karate Kid.
It. Okay, it's a Karate Kid rip-off, right?
Yeah.
And that was a movie that Steve Mitchum was mentioning before, too, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun movie, especially with kids. So if, you got a young kid and you want to introduce him to Chuck Norris, it's kind of a good way. But it has, a bunch of scenes that kind of... Jonathan is always finding himself in some generic Chuck Norris movie scenario where he's, Chuck's sidekick, basically.
Okay,
So that's kind of the gimmick of the movie. And then at the end of the movie itself, he's at this tournament, much like Karate Kid, because he's bullied and weak and all that kind of stuff, and he gets a sensei and all that kind of business. But it's fun. Joe Pescopo's in it. Yeah, I see Caleb.
Yeah, that's the scene from Sidekicks in the martial arts tournament, right? In the video, that's the Sidekicks. Yeah, so he's got a great comedic talent in that one too, I guess, right?
I mean, he's not the comedy, but he knows what he's doing.
The situation, right? Yeah.
And it plays to his strengths as far as the action star. The comedy comes out of, the story of the kid and his daydreams and certain elements. And yeah, there's a little tongue in cheek to some of those that he's good at playing into. But yeah, it's probably the closest to comedy outside of Top Dog that Chuck's done. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yes. It's a limited screen time, but iconic, especially in the fantasy fights and the finale. And Jonathan Brandis.
And I think it was directed by his son too, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember, but
yeah, his brother. It said his brother, I think. Right.
His brother. That's it. Yeah. Sorry, not his son.
Yeah, Aaron Norris. Yep. Okay. Yeah. And we've got like 40 people hanging out with us tonight in this late hour. So thank you, everyone. Yeah, pretty awesome. Yep. Thank you for being here, everyone. Yep.
Everybody wants to know what we think about Project Hail Mary, I think.
Yeah, let's talk about that. But so R.I.P. the great Chuck Norris, and wow, just gone too soon and too quickly, right? But that's the way to go. I guess it's better to burn out rather than to fade away. So God,
thank you for your sacrifice. Whatever the aliens did to you, we're sorry, but we're happy that we're alive.
He saved the universe. Yep.
I'm sure of it. No other way he could have died this young.
Yeah.
He had a good, 60, 70 years left in him?
Right? Yeah.
You saw the video. You can't convince me that the man in his videos from his 86th birthday just died. No. He's healthier than I am. So,
well, yeah.
He was on a secret mission, and he didn't come back.
Right. So
it was the only way.
Only way, right? Yep. And Wallace says, yeah, Chuck Norris enters the room, the lights turn themselves on.
Yeah, that was one of my other favorite ones in the song. When God said, "Let there be light," Chuck Norris said, "Say please."
Say please, yeah. So we both did get to see a movie without Chuck Norris in it this week, and it's,
well, before we get to that, RRTNZ just sent you another $10 there.
Oh, thank you so much. Here, let me put that on the screen here. It says Chuck Norris can simply walk into Mordor. Chuck Norris can throw his ring into Mount Doom while standing in the Shire. If Chuck put on the ring, Sauron would throw himself in the volcano. Thank you, RT had said. That's awesome. And we got to play some more. I don't have any Lord of the Rings clips, unfortunately, but let's see. Let's play another couple awesome clips. Here's a fun one.
Hey, Jim! Whoa!
Excuse me.
That's a bad outfit!
I like that clip.
That's a fun clip, yep. And Chuck Norris was Superman in many ways, right?
He was a hero. He was an American hero, exactly.
Yeah. They just loved what he stood for. And that's what, when you see someone getting abused or taken advantage of, or especially on, with social media today, you can always, and we've got cameras everywhere. You see all these crimes now, unfortunately, that are happening. And you're like, you either wish there was a cop there or, Samaritan or Chuck Norris, right, to protect someone. So and that's why you love like the Rocky and the underdog.
Well, there's not enough,
like a RoboCop.
Yeah, there's not enough stars like him anymore. There's not enough characters like he used to play anymore. That's kind of like, this is probably a good segue into Project Hail Mary.
Yep.
They don't make those kind of movies anymore like Project Hail Mary, and I think that's probably why it's hitting a chord with people. And I'm glad I actually got to go see this. I got a bug up my butt, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go see this. Everybody's talking about it. I'm coming at it from one of the most... I have really no frame of reference for this at all. I kind of know what it was about, but not really from what people have been telling. All I know is people have been talking about it.
Well, the book especially has been out for a few
It must have been what it was like to go see Jaws real early on, and you hadn't read the book. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's like, what is this? It's a fish shark movie. Okay, let's go check it out. I knew it was a space movie, something about the sun, and Ken was in it.
Ken was in it. Yeah. Yes, Leonard, this is a movie. Yep. Project Hail Mary. Yep. And you got to go to confession if you don't have your Hail Marys down, right? Yeah. Well, that was actually when you went to confession, the Catholic Church, they'd say, go say 100 Hail Marys. So the basic. premise is
you saw it Thursday, you said?
I saw it on opening night. Yep, opening night in a Dobley Digital Theater.
Oh, lucky.
Where did you see it?
I saw it in a regular theater, but I was hoping to find it in IMAX 3D, but the IMAX was only showing it in regular IMAX. So I chose to go see it in a regular theater. But
not
now
the IMAX.
But now I'm still wondering if I shouldn't have went to IMAX after seeing it.
You should have done the IMAX, yeah.
It would have cost me as much as it cost me to get the ticket and the popcorn and everything. Trust me.
Yeah. Oh, they upcharge you a lot.
Just for the ticket. So yeah.
Yeah. Is it a mini IMAX or is it?
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's a FOMAX, so it's not even a real
FOMAX. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the theater I go to in New York, they have an IMAX. They put that in first, and like that was like the super duper theater, like that IMAX, but it's a mini max or FOMAX, so it's bigger than a regular screen, but they don't have reclining seats. So then they put it. Then they put in the Dobley Digital Theater with reclining seats. So the picture size is probably about the same as the IMAX one, and then they've got the great projector, and they've got the reclining seats, and the sound is phenomenal. Excuse me too, and
but at the same time, I mean, the movie is kind of confined as much as it is a space movie, as we'll get into. But so I mean, I don't feel like I really missed out on anything not seeing it.
That's true, I guess. But there are some really cool space shots that they have. But it is almost like a submarine movie in some ways, right? Yeah,
that's a good way of explaining it.
Yeah, because they're stuck. He's stuck in the spaceship, right, for all the movie except for the flashback scenes when you see how he got there.
Yeah. And honestly, you know what? That's going to be one of my biggest complaints when we get into the movie. But otherwise, I can kind of see what people are talking about. And let's get into a brief synopsis, and we'll get into your feelings. So
yeah, we'll do like extremely minor spoiler. Like just so we have to talk about it, but not major. Major spoilers, because we're assuming that most people aren't going to see. Well, to start off with, I guess it's up to $140 million worldwide, 80 million domestic, 60 million international. So that's off to a pretty good start. And
it's the best opening for a non-sequel in years, I guess.
Okay.
Outside of Oppenheimer, I guess, was the last one that did this well.
Yep. Yeah, so it's already, now this is just for 2026 movies, so some of this isn't a fair comparison, but I'll just share this tab for a second. So, of course, what they should do is like preceding 12 months or something, but they don't do that. They just, that would be, I'd like to see a rolling 12-month total or something. So Avatar obviously made a shit ton of money the year before, but so Project Hail Mary, just based on this opening weekend, is already the number 7 movie this year.
Yeah, it's going to be the movie to beat this year so far, it looks like. So
yeah. So you've got nothing that Scream 7's won almost.
Scream had a big jump this weekend or some shit, I guess. I don't know what happened there, but I thought I read somewhere that I don't know if people rejected this week's horror movie or what, the part 2 movie that just came out of
let's see what was out this weekend. Yep.
Ready or Not.
Okay, yeah. So Project Hail Mary won. Hoppers.
Okay, it didn't make as much as I had read. I thought I read, but it did all right. I must have read the worldwide total, but still 4.5 million compared to Ready or Not's 9 million. Yeah, I can see what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So
because that Ready or Not's brand new, and they were advertising the shit out of it.
And who's in that one? That's
what's her name? I just forgot her name. Samara Weaving or whatever it is.
Weaving. Okay, Samara Weaving. Okay, Hugo Weaving's niece, or
is it his niece or his daughter?
Niece or daughter?
It's his niece. I think it's his niece.
Yeah, it's another horror movie. I like her. Yeah, I think she's pretty good.
And the first one did moderately well, but I swear they probably spent more on the advertising for this one than they did the entire movie's budget for the first one, because I could not get away from it. It was like they were shoving it down my throat this last week. I didn't even know Project Hail Mary was coming out until somebody told me about it.
I forgot. Yeah, I knew it was coming out, but I forgot. My buddy, who I go see all the Marvel movies with, he's like, "Hey, you want to see Project Hail Mary?" I'm like, "Yeah, but well, let's ask the ladies if they want to go see it too." But they turned us down. Because sometimes we like getting the dinner and the date movie night, but we didn't get that. But with Ken in it, I thought they might want to go. And I'm running out of gas, but I must hang in. Try.
Okay, we'll get to our reviews here. Sorry.
Yeah, yep. And Project Hail Mary is incredible. Want to see it again? And figure movie worth going to see, and I don't have a car to go see it in now. That sucks, Len Run. Sorry. Yeah.
You know, I'm curious though how long Amazon's going to keep it in theaters.
Yeah, I wonder. Yep. Oh, Jill is here.
This is their
awesome.
biggest hit too, as far as I know. Oh, she's coming in.
Yeah, Jill is here.
Sweet.
Hey,
I was
Jill.
just going to say, yeah, might as well come in.
Yep, she's always got the link, so always welcome to come on in and say hi. How's it going, Jill?
I had to show up because you're talking about Project Hail Mary. What?
Of course.
Oh my God, what an incredible movie this
You loved
was.
it? Yeah.
It is
So
the best science fiction movie I've seen in years. I watch the past few years, I watch a lot of classic science fiction. None of them hold up. But this one, it gets there. It gets there emotionally. There may be some problems scientifically, but at the same time, it pays credence to a lot of the science as much.
That would be my question. How much is it science fiction and how much is actually science fantasy, I guess? But I'm not a real good gauge of that. Yeah.
There's elements of both because obviously we cannot travel close to the speed of light. But that's what science fiction is about, is achieving things that we currently cannot do. There was a time where we couldn't achieve the speed of sound either.
Yep, Chuck Yeager.
Right.
But what they never say how close they get to the speed of light too, but they say they almost travel the speed of light, I guess. But there's a new, very minor spoiler, there's a new substance. Let's just say they find lithium crystals that act as an incredible fuel source that kind of enable them to
I'm trying to remember the name of
go
it, too. I just
faster
forgot
than
it.
any man has gone before.
Speaking of which, there is a Star Trek related joke, and it isn't directly Star Trek, but you think of it as soon as you hear it. I won't spoil it. I don't think we should spoil it for everybody.
Yeah,
here,
try not to
'cause-
spoil fun stuff.
It'll get you when you hear it.
So Tom, did you? I mean, I gave it 2 thumbs up. I did a out of theater review. I really liked it, and of course, Jill we know loves it. What did you think, Tom?
Boy, I wasn't sure what to expect going into it. I mean, I kind of had, like I said, a loose idea of what it was.
Yeah.
So the good, the bad, and the ugly it's a very good film. Like Jill just said, it's a very excellent science fiction / fantasy type movie in the vein of, a Spielbergian Zemeckis throwback to the 80s kind of feel to it. The only thing I didn't really care, they could have cut it down even more. And I know people that are fans of the book are going to go, what? They already left so much out. But it's like, yeah, there's a lot of the flashback stuff that I felt was a little unnecessary because we're spending time on characters that either die or are not really important in the grand scheme of things. And you kind of get the gist already. Like there's maybe 3 of the flashbacks we kind of need, and that's it. And I know people might disagree with me, but I'm coming at this purely from a movie standpoint. So keep that in mind. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying, like, you could have trimmed a good 15, 20 minutes out of this movie easily and made it a little bit swifter, but that's a nitpicking complaint, right? Because outside of that, the movie's perfect. I mean, it's a great movie overall. So yeah.
That's a perspective of maybe an audience member who's just trying to get the gist of the story. But it's important to Grace for these flashbacks to occur. And I think it's from his perspective because he's lost his memory. And so these flashbacks are kind of trying to remind him what's going on. And I don't think they're just for us. I think they're for him too.
Do you think that's him remembering those? That's what I thought when I saw it. I thought that was him getting flashes of his memory. So yeah, very minor spoilers. Obviously that there's something affecting our sun. The sun is collapsing, and I think within 30 years they're gonna have mass loss of life on Earth. And the other thing they said within years too, the nations on Earth, they're working together now, but they're all going to start fighting each other to try to survive because food resources will be incredibly limited. I think the population will half in 30 years. So they've got this Project Hail Mary, and Ryan Gosling's character is currently a school teacher, but he's written a paper on.
And he has a doctorate and all that stuff.
Yeah, but he wrote a paper that was controversial. So the head of Project Hail Mary asked, did you write this paper? And they're asking about it. And I think, Jill, wasn't something with xenobiology or what was the origin of life? Like you didn't need water.
His theory was that, there has to be life that does not need water to be.
Yeah.
Yes, just because that's what we need to live, that doesn't mean that's the case for every other life in the universe.
And it kind of is like this thing that plays throughout the film. And again, like I understand where you're coming from, Jill. Like my thing is like, just real quick, so I can sum up that part of my review, because that's the only negative I have about it. Is like that'd be perfect for like an extended cut, but for sitting in the theater to see this as a one and done movie, because unless this is going to end up having like 20 sequels or something like that, a lot of the backstory isn't as important as how did we get here, how did he get here. The stuff with all the other people and stuff in between there was just kind of like unnecessary. Like I get where it's like, okay, he's got this attachment to Earth, and it's just to show us that he doesn't have anybody on Earth, and we get a little bit more with the scientists and all. There's just bits and pieces of stuff I don't feel is necessary, but I know he lost his memory and he is kind of starting to gain it back as he's going along, and I got that just fine. I felt like those were the moments where the movie was starting to drag, because every time it would cut back to a flashback scene, I was just like, ugh. Like
right.
What's okay with the flashbacks? No, and my second counter to that is I took my 12-year-old and my 6-year-old, and my 6-year-old didn't complain, and my 12-year-old loved it. Like he said that maybe I wouldn't like it, but it was so funny that I had to.
Interesting. Yeah, well, it's good that
because to me, if not,
it.
A lot of that stuff I would cut out of the first like 30 minutes of the movie, if anything. Like other than that, not so much, because the movie really starts to kick into gear about 30 minutes in. I mean, because it's a slow burn until then, and then once you kind of get, basically once he meets up with the ship the first time,
that's when the movie really takes off. Yeah. And it's supposed to, I think, too.
Did it seem oddly romantic, even though they're inanimate objects, the two ships connecting together?
I didn't think of that.
I don't know. There's a lot of people reading too much into this already that I'm not sure if I want to feed into that.
You mean when the ships were docking?
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah,
I mean, ships always
male
dock.
to female.
Ships always dock. Well, the funny thing is in engineering, we use a lot of terms that could be considered, not safe for work, but like tits or something you talk about in terms of engineering, in terms of parts, but it could also be, hey, that's not safe for work. So it depends on how you're using a certain term. So it's
I'm saying I'm anthropomorphizing the ships or anything, but I am saying hello to Courtney in the chat.
Hey, Courtney says, hi everyone, I'm AFK but listening. We'll try to join if you're still going in 30 minutes. Much love to all you groovy people. Well, thank you, Courtney, and hey, well, let's play this.
Groovy.
Bruce approves of that comment, and big shout out to Bruce, who's battling cancer at this time too.
I will say this for the movie, that it has going for it over other more recent, maybe even more prolific science fiction films, let's say. Like, it did the same thing The Arrival was trying to do, only better. Because,
I was gonna say, it reminded me of Arrival. Yeah.
Yeah, it's only better. And I don't care that it's in this cute Spielbergian-esque wrapping. It works for the movie, and you kind of need it, because a lot of the weight from the film, and I get where you're coming from, Jill, with about like having him have his memories flooding back to him, which is, his whole reasoning for wanting to get home, right? Like, because he doesn't even completely understand or remember everything of how he got there in the first place, and I totally get that. It's just like at that moment, it's like those things, like you know these things kind of leading up to it. It's like, I feel like we should have just got to it a little quicker. That's all. I feel like there could have been trims maybe.
I liked the slow burn because he didn't have his memory, so he had to relearn everything, and first he had to do the math. And this isn't a spoiler because it's basically telegraphed in the trailers. Of course, his communications with Rocky,
Well, that's what I like. That's the stuff I like.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
talking about
beautiful.
all the stuff I would have cut out have been all in the flashbacks. That's it. Like, to be honest with you, it's 100% stuff like that. It's just, there's just a lot of stuff there that I just felt like was unnecessary.
But
just
I
me
think it's
personally.
necessary because he had to make he's making a sacrifice doing this to save Earth.
Is he though? That's what
And
we finally
yeah, right. Well, and that's the spoiler part. We can't exactly.
Yeah, I don't want to get
explain.
too deep into it, but yeah.
Well, that's as I keep mentioning, Andy Weir, what a great writer, and he owes me a night's sleep. Because when I read The Martian, I started reading it like 7 o'clock at night, and I stayed up all night till 6 a.m. reading the damn book. So I couldn't put the damn book down. It was that good. And when I went to see the movie, I liked the movie, but I was like, I'm kind of disappointed in this movie, and because there's so much left out of it. And that's what in the chat, people are saying that who just put that in? Marks 47, Hail Marks 47 says they cut quite a bit out. Not really surprising though. Yeah. So whenever you try to,
that's why I said that up front
translate,
too, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean, and I get that, but I mean, if you're gonna do a Spielbergian film, you gotta kind of take some of the lessons from Spielberg, and they did, obviously, keeping it clocked in. I think it's 2:38. I think it runs. But that's still a long.
It's a long movie, yeah.
That's my only complaint, right? Like, I'm trying to say that is the worst thing I can come up with about this movie,
which is pretty minor, yeah.
I didn't feel I didn't feel the time at all. I just wanted more of it when it was over. I was indebted to the universe, and I was wondering how it was going to continue. Those are my favorite kind of stories that I want to know what happens next. And this movie does that to you.
Oh yeah, the ending
sequel.
does. Like, that's kind of where I was coming from. Is like, okay, unless there's like a bunch of sequels to these books, then like whatever. But like at the end of the day, the movie is pretty well done. I mean, it's not going to probably get any Oscar nominations, unfortunately, because it's so popular. When stuff like that usually is, it never does. But
because they want to sell tickets to a movie that no one's going to go see.
It's perfect on its own. It doesn't actually need a sequel. I can expand it in my mind without needing to see it.
No,
you don't really need a sequel. You don't need a sequel. But someday, who knows what they'll come up with, because the characters are great. But what's interesting, he's and we're doing again very minor spoiler stuff that you've seen in the trailer. Very minor plot points that won't ruin the movie, but. You know that he gets into space, but there's a whole story of where he gets into space. And I did enjoy, the flashbacks where I could see where Tom is saying on strictly film editing, where you could have maybe trimmed it and not lost some of the characterizations, but you do need some of those flashbacks to tell the story. And they do want to get you into space right away and have some excitement because the movie is such a slow burn. So I think if they told it in a linear order, and I don't know how the book is. Jill, have you read the book or?
I decided that I wanted to read the book after seeing the movie.
Just like me, okay, yep.
Yes, yeah. And
so I bought the book.
Also, unlike you, I thought it was so funny to see such an adorable man with such a big beard, and of course the whole thing with him having to shave it and everything. I thought that was great.
And Marks 47 is back from 5 minutes ago. He's catching up. Yep, great to see. And Hail Mary has me excited for Starfighter. Yep, that's the new Star Wars.
I don't know about that, but okay. Don't give yourself false hopes there.
You never know. And then, of course, in French is Project Dernier Chance. My French accent sucks. I can hear how it's supposed to sound, but I can't do it. That means Project Last Chance. So it doesn't. They didn't call it Project Hail Mary in French. I don't know why, but Project Last Chance.
I can clearly tell you why, unless you're being sarcastic.
Why didn't they just say Project Hail Mary?
Because it doesn't mean shit over there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Hail Mary full. Well, I'm always thinking of Hail Mary full of grace. How does that? How does that translate to French?
Yeah, they even mentioned that in the movie itself. Like, that's why it's called that, basically.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and of course, they mentioned the American thing. You Americans with your football, and the great.
And I'm not surprised that happens a lot of times when you're localizing, and that might even have been the name of the book there too.
And when I
was, yeah.
interned at IBM, they would use football terms, soccer terms. Like that's just what boys do, and you got to get used to it and learn the lingo.
That's what boys do. That's funny.
Yeah, like I went to see. I remember I was in Switzerland. I went to see The Living Daylights, and I can't remember what they called it, but they didn't call it The Living Daylights, obviously, because it means not. You know, you can't. There's certain things you can't translate. It just doesn't work. Yeah, so.
Yeah, because it's more of a colloquialism than it is an actuals.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna. And that's what I'm saying. I'm assuming in other markets, the book is probably called something completely different.
Yeah,
and they may even
always change
tailor that specific scene where they talk about that. And there is another bit in there that if it's in the book as well, I don't know, where they kind of talk about it because there's this ongoing joke about how the names are stupid of things that they come up with for scientific stuff because he literally just takes the name of the planet and then adds the other part. And he's
I love that. That's funny. And then the other scientist repeats it. It's really adorable.
Yeah.
So like I'm saying, I wouldn't be surprised if in other markets they already had that done for the book, and then they would probably translated that into the movie as well. So whatever it is in whatever market, since Hail Mary is more of a colloquialism to American football,
Yeah, so it doesn't.
We would literally
doesn't
translate to last chance, basically.
That's what it means. Yeah.
Or long shot is another thing you could have
called.
Yeah,
the Hail Mary. Yeah, I'm assuming it was coined during thanks to football. You know, I
absolutely. As far as
was it the Steelers? Was that considered the first Hail Mary? And what? I guess in the 70s.
Would it have been, or would it have been something that Lombardi would have come up with?
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Yeah, who coined the term?
That, or it's been probably way back since the early days of football. But either way, it's actually in the playbook now, and that's the whole point, right? Like,
yeah,
it's your last chance in the playbook. It's that you're rushed to the last 4 pages of your playbook, and this is it, kids.
Yeah. Oh, I'm in trouble now. I can't bring up Switzerland. Not show us your nanny again. LOL. Yep. Oh, I gotta go to confession for that one. I gotta say my Hail Marys.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything with that, so that's probably why they would have changed it. But yeah, no.
Yeah, that's minor.
This is all about our last chance. So like, yeah, I mean, as you explained, that there's something eating away at our son, and they got to figure out what it is, and they're sending, a couple of scientists to go up there to figure it out. There's some catches, of course, to the whole trip.
Yeah, how he gets there.
Yeah, but. So, and it's cool how they and again, you can't really talk too much about the movie without getting into certain kinds of spoilers, but it's almost like, is it really spoilery? Because is there a frame of reference for people to have? Because I almost feel like this is what it was like to talk about Jurassic Park when it came out. Because I knew everything about Jurassic Park when it came out too. So again, I mean, without getting into
the trailers and the articles.
Not just that, but the making of, the Nova special. I knew the last 2 or 3 shots of the fucking movie. Like,
right?
The cards, the comic books, everything, you name it. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know how you want to go about explaining this character right here, if you want to even call it a character for now.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, I don't know how deep we want to get into it. That's what I was saying.
We'll get it. We'll get into. We'll do minor. My guideline would be like stuff that's in the trailer that people would know from watching the trailer. I guess that. Otherwise, we
I
can't
haven't
even
seen
really
many trailers of this. They didn't spend as much on this movie as they did Ready or Not and some of the other movies lately.
Yeah, but I did. Well, I've seen the trailer a bunch of times. But yeah, I guess I saw some. Did they do a Super Bowl ad for it, or was it a short trailer maybe?
If there was, it didn't matter. I didn't see it. That's my own thing. But my point earlier with Ready or Not is that if it penetrates to me, because I hardly watch anything.
Yeah, you're just playing movies and
mostly movies or streaming or YouTube. So unless I see an ad on YouTube or on one of the streaming things, then I'm fully unaware of it. But Ready or Not, no matter where I went this last week, it was getting shoved down my throat.
Oh yeah.
So
this movie is the first one I've seen in theaters all year, and I want to say good night to Lenrod because he's going to bed.
Take care.
Good night, Lenrod. Thank you for being here. Yep.
Oh, and it's worth seeing it in theaters, even though I have no idea how long Amazon's going to keep it in theaters. I mean, it'll do them good to keep it in theaters because it'll just keep making money for a little while. But I have this weird feeling they have it preset like that. Rock
like a 3-week thing.
Like it'll literally be in and out, and it'll be on Amazon here in 2 weeks. But
and then people get pissed. But it is one of those that are worth seeing in the movie theater. But,
well, I was even looking to find because I guess they did a 3D version. and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know.
Because they did film it for IMAX too, like some of the scenes
I
were
was
not.
looking for the
They
3D
changed.
IMAX version. Yeah.
Oh, but
they do change
they
the-
need to release a Blu-ray with commentary and everything. I want
I'm sure
special
they will.
features for this.
Because that's lacking from a lot of new movies too. The commentary tracks and all the special features are
Well,
dying out
Amazon's
on new
been good
releases.
about it. Like
with their movies.
Yeah. Because even like I got the Beekeeper. I think I
That
got
was a
at
pretty
least-
good one. Yeah.
Well, that was an Amazon movie, so.
In terms of the special features, yeah, which is why you want when you
I
buy
don't
the
know if
movie.
it had much for special features, but this will just because of how big it is.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll have a commentary with Andy Weir. But like The Martian, that book, they were actually he couldn't get that published, and he was giving it away for free on the interwebs each week. And then people were like, "When's the next chapter? When's the next chapter? I can't wait for the next chapter." And then finally, the book got picked up, and then the rest is history. And so I think he sold the script sold the rights for $2 million. So God bless him. It's a great success story, and thanks to the internet. I was talking to my friend driving back from the theater. I'm like, I wonder how many books have been lost forever that just never got a voice, never got a chance for people to read, and would have been great works of literature. Because if not for the internet, the Martian's probably not happening, and maybe not. Then you wouldn't have had this great movie too. So, so that's interesting. Now this creature, you get a glimpse of him in the trailer. So he's Rocky, right?
Yeah,
but it's actually it's not CGI, which is why it looks so good too. So it's,
I'm sure some shots are, but
they said he was a puppet. He's like Yoda,
Beautiful
basically.
puppet. It's
I was say
so
most of the
gorgeous.
time you could tell it was probably a puppet, but like
I
there was only like
believe
maybe
it.
3 shots that I thought maybe were CGI.
When he's moving through the ship, probably right in the gerbil tubes.
And there's at least 1 or 2 shots where I know that were CGI for Ryan too, because couldn't believe how bad they were compared to everything else. They stuck out like a sore thumb.
You know what? I think I know exactly the part.
When he's walking on top of the ship, that's the one you're thinking. Yeah. Yep.
But it's a good time though. I still
the
enjoy
rest
it.
of them are
I think,
great. Yeah.
I think the reason why the CGI works in this movie is because it's supplementary to the production quality. Because you have a real puppet. Because most of the time it is somebody actually doing the production work. That when you have to inject a little CGI in it, it's just used as a tool. It's used as a it might stick out, but it's used as a tool to enhance the movie rather than it being 100% CGI. If Rocky was 100% CGI, it wouldn't be so.
Well, you're probably
believable.
right, because there's God knows how many scenes where he's in zero gravity and other things where I'm sure there were wires and other things that were done with some CGI touch-ups and stuff that I didn't think about or notice or care about. But those couple of shots stood out to me like a sore thumb compared to everything else in the movie. And I'm just sitting here going, God, they could have spent another day or 2 on those shots. And that's about how I was thinking there, but that was it. Like, and again, I'm nitpicking because at the end of the day, this movie has that element to it that the Spielberg movies and Zemeckis movies of the 80s had going for it. And
But it's even more. But it's maybe Spielberg, but more intelligent. The dialogue is sharper and wittier and more fun.
Well, that's kind of where I add
funnier.
Zemeckis to it, kind of where, like, Back to the Future lean more into the science, kind of. Like, but this is kind of like a reversal of E.T. in a way, too. It has that going for it with, like, the idea of, even though he's not technically stranded, but he kind of is in space, but he's, he's kind of the alien in this sense in a way. And
he's the one who has to go home instead. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So it has that reverse ET kind of element to it. Yeah, but you're not wrong. It does. I don't know if Spielberg would ever made this movie as science fiction-y as this, and that's probably where I'm coming from. Where I would have definitely seen it trimmed down to like 2 hours and 10 minutes instead of 2 hours and 40. But yeah.
And speaking of phoning home, we did have the AT&T girl, Melania Van Trub, aka Squirrel Girl, who we didn't get to see, and she's in the movie. So one of my friends is like, "How much is she in the movie?" I'm like, "Well, you're not going to get as much of her as you wanted, probably, because she's kind of cute." But joke would have been like having her phone home, but in space, yeah. But don't want to spoil anything in the movie. But some of I thought the bodyguard on Earth, or the he was pretty fun. That guy. Officer Carl.
Yeah.
There was some good scenes with him.
He helps.
Yeah.
I love the cooperation between him and Grace. That is wonderful, and how they work together, going to Home Depot and everything. I mean, that's not a huge spoiler.
One of the lines.
But they go to Home Depot.
Yeah, it's like, do I have an expense account? And he's like, you don't, but I do. And then they're like, and then when they're checking out, they're like, do you have any coupons? And they're like, we're the government. We don't need coupons. You know,
Which one? All of them.
All of them. Yeah, all of the governments. Yep. Oh, and Oliver says 50 years ago today, Star Wars started filming. Wow, that's amazing. Yep, 50 years ago. No, so 6. Jill has not read the book either. Yep. So she hasn't read the book. Yep. And I was waiting to read the book. I did buy it on Kindle, but I definitely will read it now. But I want to make sure I start earlier or start on a weekend so that I don't nuke my sleep, because his books are just so good. And like Ready Player One, same experience. I'd seen the movie first, and that movie is so dumbed down compared to the book. The book is so highly intelligent.
Well, that's where I say that movie had the wrong director.
Oh God, because when I'm reading the book, and I couldn't put that one down either. I'm like, and of course it's, that book is written for me basically, with all the the 80s inside, games and computer games and stories, and
that movie was like basically if you wrote a tribute song to Johnny Cash and then asked Johnny Cash to sing it for you.
Right?
It makes no fucking sense.
I mean, I get whether we're trying to go with it with the Atari game and everything, but I definitely need to read it to actually understand it, because the movie was so crass. It was just, I don't know. It was
well, the problem with Spielberg is too close to it, right? It's the book was paying too much homage to his, like, you needed I hate to say this, you needed like a J.J. Abrams to direct it. You needed somebody who grew up on Spielberg. I know, I hate saying that, but somebody like that. You need somebody who knows what it's like to grow up with Spielberg, not Spielberg himself, because he wanted to separate himself as much as he could from it. It's like, dude, you can't do that. Like I just said, it's like writing a tribute song and then asking that individual to sing it to themselves. It's how does that work? It's too pretentious in a weird way. But anyway, that being said, the movie's okay. Yeah. That was my big issue with this. I liked it much better than that. This doesn't have any of those kind of problems.
Yeah, but what like, for one example, like the first puzzle in Ready Player One, he's trying to solve and find the One Piece, basically, right? The great treasure that's on this virtual game, and it's so much more intricate, and he's got to figure out. I don't want to spoil it because it's the puzzle, but he figures out a place that no one else thinks of going that'll have the clue. There's no race. Like they open the movie with the race, which I understand, but there's a lot of intellectual thinking that goes into solving these puzzles in Ready Player One. And if you haven't read the book, read that book, and you'll then if you watch the movie, like the movie's okay, but it's so dumbed down. I thought, oh God. So this, once I read the book, 6 is saying she hasn't read anyone she hasn't met anyone who's read the book and seen the movie. So that's what
I have a few, but
I'm interested.
A lot of them just say the same thing, is that it's not missing much, but like it's been cut out or truncated down. Like, I guess there's a lot more with like the other characters that died and stuff like that. For instance,
the one person that has read the book that I talked to said that this brings out the spirit of the book. So that's actually a very good compliment from somebody who's read it. Is that it has the spirit of it. And normally a lot of people who read the book have a lot of complaints, and this person did not.
Yeah,
and Professor
R2 complaints, really, yeah.
And Professor R2 had read the book and seen the movie. 6, if you go, I was actually on the show, so if you go to Price's stream on Thursday night, towards the end, it's like the last hour we talk about it. You could hear what R2 is, because I'm asking him a lot of questions about the book versus the movie, and he really did like the movie too. So he thought some of the stuff was left out, but it's always and it's a trade off too. Like how, like especially The Martian, and this book is very similar, where they're alone. Well, he's not alone, of course. He's meets this alien Rocky, but Martian, you know, is basically alone the whole time. So you're missing all, you know, some of the missions they couldn't fit in, and all the inner dialogue. It's much tougher to do via movie. You know, you've got to have Matt Damon's got to be, you know, talking to himself basically. But in the book, it's, you know, he can write in that voice. So really did enjoy that book. It was phenomenal. But like this, it looks like they built some amazing sets here for this movie. I thought it looked fantastic. And it wasn't like a 2001 type movie, but it, you know, I kept rolling back to that movie when thinking about it. This is not in the book either. It's like a virtual reality room, and R2 said this was not in the book, but it fits in the movie. So it's like a room he can go into and see the Earth, and well, I shouldn't say it's VR, but it's like 360.
It's like the dome,
screen.
basically.
Yeah, like the dome, or like Disney World. You know, where you had the World's Fair. You know, the 360 camera views. Yep. So, yeah. So, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah. So of course it opens with him in space, and you find out through the flashbacks that you know how he got there, and there's some nice twists and turns. But what really works, I think, is Rocky and his relationship. They pull it off with this puppet who's a pile of stones that doesn't even look as good as Ben Grimm. So you know, I think that's the heart of the movie, is these two characters working together to save their home planets, and they pull it off with this puppet. You're right. I think if it was CGI, it wouldn't have worked. And you really feel for these characters. Like as I'm watching Starfleet Academy, you know, as the Origami Chicken Man's about to take everyone out, I'm like, do I really care if Origami Chicken Man wins?
Any of these characters. And not only that, they had adult characters in that show that they introduced, and they didn't even show up in the finale. They meant nothing. Why even have them there? And in this movie, it made me care about Puppet Rock. So that's what tells you the level of discourse and the level of dialogue, storytelling, the witticism of this movie versus that.
Well, and it's interesting because it's not just that. It's like he's the exact opposite of anything that we would normally like. At no point it's not cute in any way, would I say, right? I mean, it does cute things, don't get me wrong, but it's not like overtly cute. It's literally basically a living rock, right? So
intelligent. He's sarcastic.
Yeah. I mean, fuck you, Star Wars. They got a living rock. No, but at the same time, it's because of a mixture between how they managed to work out the communication between the two of them. That's a big part of it. It adds to the charm and the humor, right? So it kind of gives him a robotic element to a point, so that you kind of have that R2-D2 kind of thing going for it in a way, but you don't have to go too cutesy with it, so that makes it safe for, you know, not to go into too cutesy of a realm of like, oh, it's gonna be too adorable and sell a bunch of stuffed animals or anything like that.
Yeah.
If you're afraid this is Grogu, it's not.
Yeah, no, it never goes there, but you enjoy the character enough, and the beauty of it is you're going like, wow, this movie has managed to make what is normally an inanimate object to us human beings. It means jack all, like something we would literally kick rocks, right? You know, like nobody cares about rocks. Like it makes me care about a rock, and everybody cares about a rock. By the end of the movie, like even people in the audience were freaking out about certain things, and I don't want to get into spoilers, like you said. So, but it has that ability, and it's all just predicated on just the simplest of things and not taking it too far or getting too cute with it. And it makes this character work. And it also proves his theory in a way too. Cause I'm pretty sure, I don't know if he's ever really kind of thought about it in the film. I don't know if it addresses it in the book, but basically wouldn't Rocky be a living creature that doesn't need oxygen or water to exist? Like, I mean, not to get too spoilery. I mean,
well,
like,
he does eat, though.
He does eat, but
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
just him eating. Oh my god, that is hilarious. But they do make a point to say what he breathes versus what race.
Yeah, they did.
And so
Yeah.
you do have that element that makes sense.
Yeah, and Darren is saying, yeah, agreed. Ready Player One book as a movie was a pretty good adaptation, close but not exact, but it did have the spirit. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. And 6 is telling you read it, is not listening. Now, one thing I do like is like if I'm on a long trip and I'm solo, I can really get into an audiobook. But you really got to pay attention to an audiobook. Maybe my brain can't work that way, but unless I'm like in the car driving or like say on the train, I can't listen to an audio. Like I've tried listening to an audiobook. Or I did listen, like I had an audiobook on tape when I went to the Scout Jamboree, and it was George Takei reading like a Star Trek novel. That was really cool. But yeah, it really, I can lose the book. Like I can lose, like it'll take me out of it. Yeah. So do they need to include, do they include the need to be watched while he sleeps in the movie? Yes. They do include that. Now this actress,
it is so cute.
Cute, yeah. Sandra Huller.
There are cute things.
What has she been in before? You guys know she was really good in this, and I thought she was another actress until I goggled her. I looked her up, and I think she's mainly a German actress. But did you guys come across her before? Tom, you're the movie guy here.
I mean, she seems familiar, so I've probably seen her in something minor. I just can't place it. But at the same time, I mean, if this is all she's been in, I think she's just casted because whatever that was the role called for, because I believe she is a German scientist or whatever in the movie.
Yeah, but I just hadn't seen her. I guess she lives in Germany, but I was looking at IMDb. I haven't seen her in much. Basically, a lot of credits that are foreign movies.
Now,
and she's
it's
in
never
Digger
really
with
clear
Tom Cruise.
on when the movie takes place. It's clearly like sometime in the nearly distant future.
Yeah.
But then I don't remember it ever really specifying.
In my
Maybe
mind,
the book does.
I would say it's like 10 years in the future or 20 years in the future.
25 maybe. Yeah.
But I'm just making that up just so that like our tech is slightly more advanced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the plot point that they do include in the movie, and it's in the trailer, is the suns are being destroyed, but there's one solar system where they see the sun is not being affected, and they've said, well, we're just going to go there and just see what we can find. So R2 told me the book.
The info, yeah.
He's basically got all of human knowledge, AI. He's got pretty much everything on this ship that cram, everything like a Swiss Army knife of Earth's technology on the ship.
See, now that's something they could have explained a little bit better in the film.
And they didn't.
And they didn't. Yeah. See, and again, this is where I was thinking of like, because this is where I come from and I used to be one of those guys that was like, whatever. And I'm fine with extended cuts on Blu-ray or whatever. That's not an issue. But now that I'm getting older and I'm an editor, the more and more I'm like, there's no reason this movie should be more than 2 hours and plus whatever. Like I'm getting to that point where I can see little things here and there where it's like trim, get rid of it. And it's kind of the same thing here with that kind of thing. You can't keep everything in there, even if it is something that's in the book. It's got to be important to the movie. Is it important real estate? Does it mean anything in the grand scheme of things?
Or because you can infer it too. Because
I think
this is what I was getting to. Is I think they should have used this real estate more to get to that stuff than some of the other stuff on land that wasn't as important.
I think it's important. I think it's important to know that Earth is together on this. That we are actually working together in such a way. It feels very Star Trek in terms of, hey, we're putting aside our differences because the sun is dying. So let's stop bullshitting and actually do something that will save the planet. And I think a lot of those flashbacks show off that camaraderie, that closeness together, that we can come together as a human race and do something great.
And you do get that in the movie, and I did appreciate that, but they could have just added one line, because they do infer, like in one part of the movie, he gives Rocky an object. He says, well, this says, well, it's a laptop, it's fine, but this has all of human knowledge and history on it. They do kind of, and
I think that's one of my favorite parts. Like if that wasn't included, I wouldn't get a sense of Earth being together, it would just feel like, oh, is just America doing this? No, of course,
Yeah.
because they show us everybody, a subsection of other people
Well,
from
like,
other parts of the planet together.
my whole thing with that was like, my point is they didn't really give us much knowledge of what the ship was, how it works, all that kind of business. Like Mary's there at the beginning, and then she kind of just falls off as a character, almost like
Mary's the ship. You're calling Mary Project.
yeah.
Mary
And I mean,
the
you
ship.
could have evoked a lot of that stuff through her, right? Like, and made her a character a little bit more. And that's all I'm getting at is like, there's ways of invoking this stuff or getting it into the story without padding the story out any more than it already was.
And you do have that robot in the very beginning when he wakes up, and I thought that was going to be a bigger part of the ship, as a character, like an AI or something on the ship. But Rocky, you deal with Rocky most of the time, and the ship does, quote unquote, that robot does answer a few has a few lines, but nothing big. But like this shot here, they're trying to figure out how to communicate. So this ties into how they communicate. So he's lost his memory and he's gradually learning, he knows why he's there. And then he's got to puzzle this together. And, he gets there and he meets Rocky in the ship. And that's where I think the movie really, not that the movie's not good before that, but it really goes into high gear.
Well, his character
is
is built on the idea that he doesn't have confidence in himself.
Yep.
So he's a lot smarter than he thinks he is. And that's kind of where he's constantly stumbling over, of course, this is what you meant. I should have thought of that in the first place kind of moments. You know what I mean? Like, because he has those duh moments throughout this whole thing with Rocky. And even Rocky gives him shit a few times about asking stupid questions.
Yeah, no, I love that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so
That's great because they're working together like real scientists, and Rocky doesn't pull the punches, so to speak.
But,
well, they have different ways of showing, like, I don't want to say it's emotion so much, but because I mean, there's even this great bit throughout when they first, like, not to get into it too much, but like when they first start to interact quite a bit, where let's just say they're thrusted together for a reason. I'm not going to get into it because of spoilers, but just the idea of how different they are, right? And that's where Ryan's like struggling with trying to deal with it all, and just the way that they do have to basically come to terms with a relationship, right? Because you mentioned the whole while you're sleeping thing, that they have to be watched and stuff like that, which to Ryan, he's like, that's a little weird, like kind of thing, but like he finally understands it when he gets the whole context, and see, those are the great bits of the film, and that's where the movie really shines, and that's where I feel like it's a much better film than The Arrival is, as far as how to communicate with another species altogether that is there for a common interest. Because that's kind of the one thing you didn't say, is that once he gets there to this solar system where the sun hasn't, been affected by this, whatever it is, they haven't quite figured it out yet, but he figures out that it's like a cell, like a virus or whatever it is. Or whatever you want to call it. It's a living organism of sorts, let's say.
Yeah. It's alive.
It's alive. It's a living thing. So they find when he gets there, he finds this other ship there, and that's where this kind of starts off, because then they slowly learn that they're clearly there for the same reason. So they decide to work together, and that's kind of the setup from there to kind of, without getting any further deeper into it.
One of my favorite kinds of setup in science fiction, and it's absolutely gorgeously done.
It was beautiful. Let me just read this comment from Thomas Tyne, and welcome to Sunday Night Geekery. Hail. Hey, I listen to audiobooks all the time, at work all the time. Sometimes I might miss little bits, but I don't ever feel like I'm missing too much. Yeah, just me personally. I just I gotta be like driving or doing, relaxing or doing something. Otherwise, I'm gonna get distracted.
But you only remember about 60% of what you listen to, and more like 80 or 90% of what you actually read yourself, and 100% of what you teach to somebody else. If you teach it to somebody else,
or you write it,
right? There's like a percentage structure from that. Don't you remember that? Yeah, and that's true, right?
And 6 says, I had the bladder of a 20-year-old, and I prefer a long movie. Well, damn you, 6. You can sit through long movies. Yeah.
I did. I can do it too. I
You
can do it too, as long as I don't drink too much. Yes.
Well,
There isn't
to me,
actually
it's
an
not
app
just-
that.
Go
Well, I
ahead.
was going to joke. There's an app where you can tell. They tell you when to go to the bathroom.
I think
in
I found the
movies.
right part for that actually, but and it was this scene here that you have on the screen here. But
Yeah, and I wanted to look. You know who I thought this was? That's why she looked familiar.
Who's that?
Miranda Otto. Doesn't she look a
Oh.
little bit like Miranda Otto? A tiny bit.
Not because the nose is a big difference.
Yeah. Well, I have bad vision, but a little
Well,
bit.
I do
a
too.
little
That's
bit
why I
you're
do
my-
audiobooks, but evidently that doesn't count according to 6. So. I haven't
Counts
read nearly as much
60%.
Reading is hard. Yep.
I go back 10 seconds if I didn't hear what I thought I did.
Rewind. Be kind. Yep. Newsflash. Sun has been dying since before we were born. Yeah, that's true. Yep. It's scheduled to go for 7 billion years. The guess is 5 billion, at which point it will be a red giant, engulf Mercury, wreck Venus and Earth. No, actually, no, it won't, Phantom, because the interstellar spaceway is being built through our galaxy by the Vogon. So, the plans have been filed at Alpha Centauri for many decades. So you should know that.
No. What? We're not getting a super bypass highway planted
Yes.
through Earth, are we? What's
Yes, we are. Yep. Come on, you Earthlings. You should have known that.
I already got my apartment picked out on the new planet.
And hey, Alaska Jeff, how's it going? Great to hang with you last night too. Yep. And 6 agrees. I mean, yeah. Oh shit, she does look like Miranda Otto. Yeah. See, 6
Maybe.
is always
I
right.
guess maybe I'm wrong.
I thought a little bit like Miranda. I'm like, she looks familiar. It looks familiar. Yeah. But the fun thing about getting with this movie, I love the science, right, Jill? And I know you like science too, like the way the science was developed and the theories, and gradually how they're trying to figure things out. And they do have one grand action scene. We do get a kick-ass action scene.
They don't do too crazy. They don't go too crazy with the speed of light concept because it's only 10 light years away. So that's a reasonable amount of time to come back, and the people you were talking to before will probably still be alive.
Right? Yeah. So now
Well,
time.
he even tells it takes 11 years for a message to get back, and he figured it was going to take 4 years to get back or whatever at that one point or whatever when he was trying to factor in shit. But
yeah,
I mean, it does a pretty good job. I mean, frankly, I mean, I don't. Then that's kind of where I was coming off of how much is science fiction and how much is science fantasy, because I felt it did, in my limited knowledge of science fiction, because I'm not a good barometer of that, especially with like Star Trek and all that kind of stuff. With this, it did feel like they paid a little more closer attention to the science facts. With like, especially for instance, a lot of times when there's scenes out in space, they go completely dead silent, right?
Yep.
So like, there's no sound unless you're hearing it from certain points of view or a reason why there should be any sound there. It doesn't even just give it to you because, you expect it as an audience member, right?
That's a good point. Yeah, that was really beautiful when they did that, because you know what the sound should be, but then they cut it off because in space there is you don't hear
sound.
that sound.
There's sonar in space, but
Not much.
that's why I keep mentioning 2001. Like that, the soundtrack was used so well in that movie, and there is silence in that movie too at certain points. Just to
well, in the
especially
visuals,
end
there
when-
is some callback to him. Clearly, you're not wrong, Mark.
Yeah,
I got that feeling, especially with the grander, in the sweeping, especially a lot of that kind of stuff, and how the visuals with you could tell they were inspired a little bit by Kubrick with the spinning of the camera with the characters and stuff and such when they are spinning around and whatnot.
Yeah, so it's very well filmed. It looks great, and Phantom is definitely And Jill corrected me too. Yeah, was a hyperspace bypass. A bypass is different than a highway. So yeah, I stand corrected, but
At least
I'll have
it
to go
wasn't a
back after-
roundabout.
Yeah, it wasn't a roundabout.
Oh
Get stuck.
I get so confused at a roundabout because
We were bitching
in
about him
Amer-
earlier.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they're showing. Why are they showing up more in America? That is what's confusing me.
I
because
feel
don't-
like
Traffic
there's a
calming.
conspiracy. Somebody went around selling them
Traffic
like
calming.
monorails. Like that.
Traffic calming. It's the big thing, slowing traffic down. Yep.
Yeah.
That's why we all should ride bikes
supposed
to
to
work.
make it faster. They're lying to you.
Like
I
Dr.
just feel
Grace.
like I'm driving around in like a guppy until I figure out how to move.
Oh, I always get off of the wrong one too, especially if I don't know where I'm
Oh,
at.
yeah.
Like, because the GPS is always like a second behind, and it's like exit the thing. They're like, no, wrong one. And then I got to go do a U-turn somewhere.
Go back, yeah. So the movie does have some fun scenes with Dr. Grace Gosling, where, like you said, Tom, he's lacking a lot of confidence, but he does crack some
This is
fun
where
one-liners.
the movie has to make me stretch to believe that of all the people in the world that we have collected here, a science teacher from Bumfuckistan, Egypt, is the one who figures half this shit out. That's kind of the Armageddon moment of the movie. Outside of that, like, yeah.
Well, what I would
Same
have
with
liked was his,
Armageddon, though. It's like that guy who just, I figured out the Rubik's Cube really quick, and he's apparently a good person to go to do the thing.
It's
That's the
kind of
movie
like
thing.
the Steve Buscemi character, yeah.
and he's thrown into it, but I would have liked him. I guess he can't, if he's, it's not as interesting if he's like a top scientist and he just does this. He's picked out of obscurity.
Well,
but I
at least
would
they
have
set
wished
it up that he does have a doctorate and he was somewhat prolific, but then he wrote this paper that was everybody considered to be batshit crazy, which of course that happens to all the great scientists,
Right.
So they do
At
kind of
first
play
they
to
laugh
that.
at you,
Yeah,
then
exactly.
you win.
Yep, and Phantoms in New Jersey, we have lots of traffic circles, their original names. Yep, New Jersey, you have guardrails. You can't even make freaking left turns in New Jersey. When you go, we're driving there first time. I'm like, you got to go on these side roundabouts to like make a left-hand turn. But I mean, I guess it is true the left-hand turn is the most dangerous thing. But you got all these guardrails, yeah. And 6 has nightmares about roundabouts, like I do about revolving doors. Yep, she doesn't like. Roundabouts. Soundtrack. Well, Tom is our music man here. What did you think of the soundtrack, Tom?
I wouldn't say that there was a huge amount of standout-ish moments. I mean, there's some decent classic tracks in it, but I feel like if they'd have went too pop soundtracky, it would have been people comparing it to like Guardians of the Galaxy, probably. I mean, there's a few select moments where music pops up here and there, and it works with the film all right. Honestly, that's one scene that I probably would have cut down, is the karaoke scene. And I think that's where Jill, I'm not saying cut all that stuff out. I'm just saying there's like trims here and there you could have made that it just like, we did not need to hear her sing that whole fucking song. Like
she sings a lot of the song.
Yeah, like it's like,
okay,
this movie's long already. Let's trim this down a little bit.
She's got a great voice though.
All you needed was a verse. You didn't need 2/3 of the song. That's just a minor nitpick. But like you have that moment, which it works for the moment, right? Because it's the whole setup of, you know, he's kind of realizing that he's all alone on Earth, even though, this thing's happening around him and he's facing this whole thing and everything that's going on, not to get too spoilery, like I said, but it's kind of like that last moment of connection with human contact for these people that are supposed to be going on this mission. So it's kind of it's a very poignant scene, don't get me wrong. So like, I mean, there's that scene, there's the scene with Sunday Morning Coming Down where the music works really well with it. But
the Beatles music,
the Beatles music
song
at
is
the end was
perfect.
really, really well fit, and I was kind of surprised to hear it.
Yeah, how'd they get that? They must have paid us
Well,
$6
that's the
for
beauty.
that.
That's the beauty of all the music being owned by 3 companies now, Mark. So yeah.
Somebody told me that's in the book.
Oh, it is in the book? Oh, okay, cool.
So J6 can confirm, but I was told the other night when I had a stream talking about this.
That they mentioned
that is,
or it's played. He plays, because he must have all of human music on the ship. I'm sure he's got his MP3 player going, or I guess whatever his iPhone going, or whatever you have in the future. Now this shot, I'm like, this is 2001. Oh my God, it's full of stars, but with the reflection off the helmet there. But I did love the progression of learning to communicate and then working on these to solve this problem together, and then they both help each other. They both bring things to the puzzle, and like you said, Tom, he's kind of plucked out of obscurity, but he does prove himself too, which was great too. So he does have lot of intelligence to figure this stuff out. But
He has an
he is
extreme
self-
amount of intelligence because he was coming out of a coma, not even remembering most of anything. He's like, wait a minute, I'm smart. I don't remember being smart. And it builds from there.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
he kind of runs with a fake it till you make it kind of thing, and he clearly does remember certain things or whatever. It's just logically his more of his short-term memory is affected more than anything. It seems to be. But yeah.
No, if you don't remember you're smart, your long-term memory was totally affected also.
Well, he
Everything
seems to
was
start
affected.
remembering who he is right away, and he even knows to where to go to wake everybody else up and
Eventually,
stuff like that. Yeah.
eventually, yeah, well, he remembers there were other people, but I'm just saying at the exact moment of his grogginess, he doesn't remember a lot.
Oh God! Well, we don't even know
And
how
it
long
comes-
it took for him to get to that point. They kind of just show him doing a bunch of things for a while. So, like, yeah, you're not wrong, but
yeah. So I
He's
just
just
love
on
the
a
progression
spaceship
of his
and he
character.
realizes there should be other people here.
Yeah, I did love.
well,
the
he gets to a
progression of his
point where he
character.
clearly starts remembering certain things, and he starts like, because he's like, oh yeah, the sun, and then this, and then that. And he's
Well,
like,
I like his sweater too. It's really cute.
And the ship design was excellent too. It was most excellent, just in terms of grounded in science. It's not like it wasn't no, don't yell at me, Star Trek fans. It wasn't like didn't look like the Enterprise. It
well, it needed
it
to have
looks
a
like something we
cobbled-
build.
Yeah, it needed to have a
Cobbled
quickly
together.
cobbled together look made out of stuff that we probably had from various space programs from different countries and whatnot. So, like, yeah, the little retro-esque feel to a lot of it, I had no issue with, and I think fits it just fine.
Me too. Yeah.
Like you said, you're clearly going to cobble this thing all together real quick. Because I mean, that's the one thing I guess that the movie didn't have that I'm happy we didn't need was like they didn't like build up this whole like speaking of Armageddon, like this whole the Earth's going to end, and if this is what would have happened had they done it in chronological order, and built it up and had this whole thing where you had shots of kids in classrooms crying and shit, and I mean they have that moment-esque. But it's really brushed by very quickly in the beginning. And that's the thing is like those flashback scenes are a little uneven, but the ones that are really good work really well. Because I agree with you when he's starting to figure things out, working with his bodyguard, getting stuff done and kind of getting to the point where they're ready to launch some sort of mission to figure out what to do. Those are the best of the flashback scenes in my opinion. But yeah. But I am going to probably check out the book eventually.
Yeah, and Jill says
On
Six says Jill
audiobook.
an audiobook. You'll love the book. And
Yeah.
Dude Bro, hey Dude Bro
I'm
from
gonna get
the
to
Rumble
check it out.
side.
Hey, dude.
The
bro.
interstellar look. Yep, and thank you for being here from Rumble. Yeah, a little Castaway look there, but they didn't really explain.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a moment I think of Castaway. It's not necessarily with
Yeah.
him with the beard, but you guys will know.
I'd say there's a lot of Castaway in this too, in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But they didn't really explain the suspended animation or getting there. But a lot of times you don't need to. I don't know if it's in the book, but it doesn't really affect the story, like Tom is saying. So you don't need to like spend 20 minutes on how they put themselves in suspended animation. So sometimes
Well, they
it's
kind
okay
of tell
not
you
to
they
give every-
induce a coma, and I don't know how suspended you are as far as like. I mean, you have
Yeah,
to
but
define
that's what I
that,
like, assume they call. Yeah, they put it, but there's something that his setup is different, so you wonder. But they don't go in like they don't spend like 20 minutes like trying to figure out like how's the ship going to survive or get there, or how's what's going to happen to the crew. Are we going to have artificial gravity? They just show you like he pushes a button and then boom, there's artificial gravity, right? But they figure that all. Then they show in a flashback how they figured out, but it's really quick, so it's very economical in terms of the storytelling.
Well, and
but-
it's kind of interesting, again, not to get too spoilery, but how when the two get together, how it's funny how one doesn't think of certain things that the other would think of and how they work so well as a team. And that leads to the climax as well, not to get into it, but like it is very well written how there's a lot of, it's not even so much setups and payoffs as it is, but it is, if you get my drift, of like we have little moments and things happen that will pay off again later on. and they all seem to come
They do.
to a good payoff at the end. And that's why I think people are comparing it, not just for aesthetic reasons, but for the storytelling reasons to a lot of those films that, you know, Zemeckis and Spielberg are known for, because it has a lot of those elements to it where it does give the audience a lot of what it wants. And there's nothing wrong with that, because it takes you on a journey. And like I said, by a certain point in this movie, you give a shit about a rock that looks like a spider. Like, I mean, and you shouldn't. There's no reason why you should. It is so alien to us, right? It's like even taking the concept of E.T., which is nothing really cute. E.T. looks like a fucking pile of shit. Like, let's be real. He looks like something.
Just his eyes. Just his eyes.
Yeah, the eyes is what sold it. But like, that's the beauty of this character. He doesn't even have eyes. You even take the Spielbergian elements that Spielberg probably would have given to this movie away from it, and it still works. And again, I don't know how kids are going to react to it. There was a few kids in the audience. They seemed to be pretty into it where I was at, but they weren't that young. I don't know if like real young kids would be into this, but definitely like 9, 10 above would probably have a good time with this, I'd imagine.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, my 12-year-old absolutely loved this movie. My 6-year-old, I don't think she understood it, but she didn't complain a lot. I didn't have to take her outside to comfort her because the movie was boring, because it wasn't. So visually, it was engaging even for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, I don't know too many younger kids that, like, especially the slow burn in the beginning to get to a lot of the stuff that kids would find remotely interesting. I think it would be an ask of a lot of younger children, but
yeah.
I mean, you know your kid better than, you know.
Certain young kids would have bored. Like my good friend Brian. We went to see the Ang Lee Hulk, and Brian's got like ADHD, pretty bad. Like his joke is like he can never sit still, or like he's always handing you something. He's like, I got you to take it. Like, and they were in the movie theater, and it's like, are we in the right movie? You sure this is the Hulk? When's the Hulk going to show up? We need to see the Hulk. And it keeps
that's
tapping
the torture
me.
we had as kids, right? Because back before CGI, when shit was so expensive, we knew it was going to be a long time before we seen something cool. Sometimes. So you knew you were in for the long haul. That's why Ninja Turtles took me by surprise, because I wasn't expecting to see a Ninja Turtle till 30 minutes into the movie.
Right?
Like, I'm not kidding. I'm going to this thing full bore. It's like, okay, I'm ready for the April O'Neil movie with the Ninja Turtles in it.
In the last 5 minutes.
You know, that's what we're used to in those days. Like, if anything required any special effects, you weren't going to see it very much. But weirdly enough, from the first moment on, from that opening bit, they were there the whole time. I was suppressed. And, you know, same thing here with this character. Once he shows up, that's when the movie shines. I mean, it takes a little bit to get there, so a lot of younger kids are probably not going to be into waiting that long. But, you know, if they can get into the story of that's, you know, you'll know your kid there. But I think most people, the basic thing is there's nothing in this movie that I would say, even really remotes. I think it's rated PG-13, and I'm sitting here going, "Why is this PG-13?"
It should have been G, probably, other than, you know, being scary in a couple places.
Yeah, PG maybe for some of the scary elements, but even then, it's they don't really dwell on it.
Doesn't they say shit a few times, right?
Even shit you can get away with in PG.
You can get away. Yeah. I don't know what, but they just don't like having movies be PG this day. Yep. Oh, and Phantom wants me to say, repeat the line. Super easy, barely an inconvenience. I think I almost got through that. Yep. Is that a line in the book, or I'm trying to remember? Yep. Like this scene is great where he goes into the pilot's chair and the ship's reacting to him, and he's like, "But I'm not the pilot. I'm not the pilot." Yeah. Like, get out of the chair. Yep. So I did like the science. I did like the character development, and they do have you believe that Rocky is a cool dude, right? You know, who doesn't like a pile of rocks, right? I'm the biggest pile of rocks fan here with the thing.
Missed opportunity of having Sylvester Stallone doing the voice. No, I'm just
yeah, that's what we said.
No, I think they got that about right. It has to be that specific kind of voice that they did in the movie, even though they could have probably come up with something like that, because they even do like a few jokes with that. But.
Well, that's what they should have done. They should have had Stallone, like, because you know, and like with your Echo device, you can pick your voice, and like when Terminator came out, the new one, you could have picked Arnold's voice to be your Echo device voice. I won't say the word, and They should have, and they're sampling some voices like in Rocky saying, no, not this one, not this one. And then they finally agree on one, but one of them should have been Stallone. Like
that would
actually
have been funny.
Sylvester
That you could have done it in there. Like,
yeah.
But nah, no, two on the nose.
Yeah, and then because the name Adrian comes into effect too. So
I mean, I wouldn't have hated it had they done that, but I think it needs to be that voice that they picked because it's like,
yeah, it works.
Yeah, because especially the way he talks, and it's not like Yoda talk, but it is kind of. Because so those who have no idea what we're talking about, so there's a sequence where I'm sure it took a long time for him to do in reality, but they do a good way of montaging it where they come up with a way of communicating, and Ryan basically starts picking up sounds and stuff that Rocky's doing, because Rocky basically speaks in music. It's kind of weird. And so he figures out a way to translate that into words, and they come up with a database of phrases and words, and the way Rocky speaks is in kind of a backwards broken English basically then.
Yeah.
So it's just that's what makes the character endearing.
Charming. Yeah, and it makes sense too because it's coming from a completely alien galaxy. They're not, like even Martians with big heads that we always think of, or or aliens from V. So and then here's Rocky's ship versus our interstellar spaceship, and this ship looks so cool. And I think they really never explained much about Rocky's ship and how it works. I don't know if that's in the book at all. And again, you don't really need it, but
well, I think we get, and again, I don't know from the book's point of view, but I think as an audience member, I mean, we kind of get that moment where you kind of don't want to, as the director / whatever of the film, you don't want to give away too much because you have that special moment later on where that plays into it, where he finally does get to see, spoiler ifs a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit more, because he gets an idea earlier on just from their early communications and what's going on with them trying to figure out how to communicate at first, and then how they work together. Because that's the other thing is, how do you work with somebody you can't even be in the same room with technically?
Right. Yeah.
So they have to overcome all these little obstacles. Before they can even get to their main problem. But
yeah. And JT Kirk is going to bed. Says, "Got to go to bed. Get MSU. Beat UConn." Hey, wait. You didn't have me read that, did you? Yeah. So
good night, JT Kirk. And usually the onus of understanding is always on the alien, and it was so great to see that reversed. Is that Grace actually had to work towards understanding him too.
And speaking of going to bed, I'm getting awfully tired. It's 3 a.m. and we did start late because UConn was winning, and the UConn ladies are playing tomorrow night at 6 p.m. So we better get on out of here.
Yeah,
and,
but final thoughts. I thought it was a great film.
So
I think
give
most
their final
people
thoughts,
will enjoy it, and I have a feeling it's going to make a lot of money in the next 3 weeks that it's in theaters until Amazon probably pulls it, but we'll see.
You think they could pull it, or you're saying you think they might pull it after like 4 weeks?
Maybe. I don't know. Like
what's typical
average
movie theater? Is it 45 days? It's the theatrical window.
I don't
usually
know what Amazon is generally not even done that long.
But what was like the typical standard though for before all the streaming garbage? How long?
Oh, before that, this is a type of movie where with this opening weekend, there wasn't any way it was going to hit video until Christmas.
The next like 6 months plus
at least
later. Yeah.
This would be back in the day before the days of all that shit where we'd be okay, this is a big hit. We're not going to see this on video until Christmas. That was where we had to look at it basically.
Obviously, it's going to be available on streaming way before then.
Exactly. That's kind of what we're saying.
When will they release the Blu? But I don't care about that. I want to know when the Blu-ray is going to be, and will we have to wait for Christmas for that? I wonder.
Well, let's check Amazon. Sometimes they actually have these movies up on sale.
Well, I'm sure that Amazon will do some kind of special edition, but it depends on when they'll announce it.
Because I've seen these movies on for sale sometimes, like coming in 6 months you can get the get the Blu-ray. All right, this one's not listed right now. They just have the audiobook listed, but,
and the actual books, and
the actual
books,
I
can't find an amount of time here, but I did find something that said that with a few more recent releases, major releases, Amazon is doing exclusive box office runs, but it doesn't say for how long before streaming on Prime Video, including this and The Sheep Detective and Masters of the Universe.
Did either of you guys do D-Box? Because I have a 6-year-old and I opted not to do that because I thought that might distract her and she might just be way too excited by it. So I didn't do that. Yeah, I did have that.
What do you say, Joe? What's it called?
It's called, well, you're showing it right now. It's called D-Box, and that's a thing where they kind of make it like a theme park ride where the seat moves.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah. In the movie theater. Yep. Yeah, where they have, and there's another format too. It's similar to D-Box. Yeah, where it's like the seats shake, and you got subwoofers and motion, and yeah, that'd be pretty wild. Yeah.
I just remember like the red one. It was on streaming within a couple weeks.
Yeah, Red One was basically a streaming movie, right? Yeah, the
but
Santa
it was in
Claus
theaters,
movie?
but it was like boom, boom. Yeah, they had it out on streaming before Christmas, and I think it came out in theaters Thanksgiving weekend or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was very fast. Yeah,
yeah.
And we did get a Lucy Liu action figure for that one. I should get that one signed, but yeah. So if you have a chance,
maybe this one will be a little longer. I don't know.
Yeah. But I think, if you have the chance to see it in IMAX or Dolby, this definitely works better in a movie theater. But you'll enjoy it at home too. But movies never used to stay as long as the box office supported it. Wasn't Titanic out in theaters for 10 months?
Yes.
Yeah, Titanic was out forever. Yeah.
Actually, it was over a year, I think, before Titanic. Like Titanic, I think was the following Christmas before it hit video. Star Wars is a little different because Star Wars came out technically before home video was even really a thing, and that took like 4 or 5 years to hit video. But even Return of the Jedi was a good 3 years to get to video. E.T. was 5.5, 6 years, I think it was. That was because Spielberg had this idea that he wasn't going to release it on home video until there was X amount of VCRs and homes or whatever.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
And honestly, I still say to this day, all the things that he has done to E.T. have ruined its legacy. Everything that's, Star Wars and Jaws, you can keep releasing those and people keep buying them and going to see them. He kept E.T. under such cloak for so long that you have a whole generation, I think, that grew up without it that didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they missed it.
And I know some people don't think that's the case, but that 20th anniversary did not do that well, and that really hurt it even more because there's still people to this day who think the only version that exists has walkie-talkies in it, and you have to tell them, no, he only released that once, and he didn't ever again.
Yeah.
But he's been the worst enemy when it comes to that movie, it feels like. I don't know. And he's tried to release it more recently, but I just don't think it has the same push it used to.
Well, I think that that was a huge mistake because you want to keep it exclusive, but Disney had the opposite thing where they'd say, buy it now before it's going to go into the vaults for 5 or 10 years. You won't be able to get it.
That's what he should have done, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a different world back then too, where you wanted to, you wanted exclusivity, and you wanted to, make it something special. But by waiting, you lose those fans, and God, when was the last time I watched E.T.? I can't remember. Yeah, like I'll watch Star Wars.
Well, he didn't even allow it on cable either. That was the other thing, right? Like, because, I remember back in the day, like, people would pass around the Star Wars films because they were on cable way before they came out on video. I had
you had it on VHS. You had a copy. Yeah.
And same thing with like Heavy Metal was on HBO all the time in Cinemax, but it was never on home video because of the music rights.
Yeah, so that's my friend Larry had recorded off of HBO, and he was legendary because we're like, let's watch Heavy Metal. We watched that like 100 times. Yeah, we watched that like 100 times on a crappy VHS tape. But like a lot of weekends, we're like, let's just throw on Heavy Metal, and it was in the background. You'd get, because the music was on, or we were tired, So,
but this might be one of those things that, if there is one good thing, is Amazon will see this, and maybe they'll go, yes, there is, a reason to do this way and keep this movie in theaters for a while. Let it make a buttload of money. Netflix will see that, and they'll try to follow suit. I mean, I'm not totally unconvinced that Netflix isn't trying to do this, because I'm sure they're starting to see that there is big money to be made at the box office. And if you put movies out there that aren't divisive, that's the rest of my final thought, basically, is that There is nothing in this movie that I could say would divide the audience. It doesn't have any big politics behind it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any sex. Doesn't really have any violence. Doesn't really have anything that I would say would be, anything that would be. It feels like an 80s movie in a lot of ways. I don't know how else to put it. Like it is so benign when it comes to any of the problems that we've talked about in recent years. If that helps, I can recommend it.
It's wholesome. Yes.
Yeah, it's all those things. Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just looking up. Star Wars was first aired on television, 1984, February 26th. So of course the movie was out in 77,
Which I think was the same year it came out on VHS too. Yeah.
And it first premiered on HBO February 1st, 1983. So imagine if you saw Star Wars in a movie theater in 77, I had to wait until 1983 to watch it again. Yeah, so you would go 6 years without seeing the damn movie. So different.
Star Wars was one of the first big bootlegs that people would videotape in cinemas because that was the same time that you could finally had camcorders and stuff like that too.
Yeah. Oh, so people had their crappy. Copy. Yeah.
E.T. was notorious for that too. For the same reason.
People brought in giant camcorders, and that was okay. That's kind of
They did. Well, here's the thing: is you got to remember, Jill, and I was reminded of this tonight because that's what I did. Is I looked around, and because this was such a big release, a bunch of the little theaters in my area got it. So I went to a theater that's like 30 minutes away. It was like an old theater, big one-screen theater where they got a new projector and stuff a few years back. I'm like, fuck it, I'll give it a shot because it was only $5 a ticket, and it wasn't too bad. So yeah. I mean, people are.
Or the movie theater could have been empty too, right? Or there were copies of the movie, out there that you could.
Well, yeah, my point was that it was easy to get in a little small town where somebody who knows somebody who works at the theater, and
yeah. And Wes says my daughter was little. Her two favorite films are E.T. and The Last Unicorn. March 1985, we had the He-Man and She-Ra Secret of the Sword cartoon special. Is that kind of considered like a He-Man movie in some ways, or
they did put it in theaters.
They put it in theaters. Okay, that's what I thought. Yep.
It was the Secret of the Sword. Yeah, it was the first 5
I
episodes
didn't
of
know
She-Ra.
Filmation ever had anything out in theaters. That's
they did. There was a Pinocchio movie they did in theatrical, and what else was there? I can't remember. I think there was a couple other things they did.
Yeah, because I wasn't born until that December, so that's low. But I just know Filmation, of course, from Star Trek the animated series.
And Thomas says, I remember seeing random parts of the original trilogy on people's TVs during visits. We had them on VHS tapes recorded off TV. Yeah. My brother got them on laser disc at one point. Yeah, it was. You couldn't wait to get when it was shown on TV or broadcast. So like Heavy Metal, as Thomas is saying, or Akira.
Yeah, the version I had for a while was off of Cinemax. Yeah,
right. I mean,
so they did the re-release finally.
Yeah, and I bought the 4K from Heavy Metal a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And, that was great. But also there were 8mm copies of Star Wars out there, or 16.
They actually had official ones too, where it was just scenes, but yeah. But I'm sure people snuck them out of the theater. That was so popular that and it's played forever, like we were saying. And I mean, this is the kind of movie that would do something like that back in the day. Because
would you have to turn the film in? Like, who owns the actual film of Star Wars? If you're
the
a movie theater,
did back in the day.
So you're supposed to send it back, or were you supposed to destroy it, or
because the way that would work is these smaller theaters that I was just talking about, because the way movies were released changed dramatically throughout the 70s and 80s, because it used to be it would open in just a certain set of markets, so they would only do like X amount of prints of the movie, and it would start in New York and LA and then work its way into the Midwest. And back then what they would literally do is, after it would get done doing its run in LA and Chicago and New York, well, then they would send those prints back in, and those prints then would get sent out to smaller markets. Not as big, but smaller. And then the same thing would happen again, and it would get to even smaller markets. So like me growing up back in the day, the only theaters that I could go to see a movie in were what are called the second run theaters, and that's where they would get the last run of the prints usually.
And they were all crapped
And they look
out.
like
probably.
shit, but they still look
Right.
better than some of this digital stuff. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
what,
but they would have scratches and.
Oh yeah, they looked
yeah.
like they were dragged across the fucking concrete, basically. Yeah.
And that's where people also, I think some of the 4K versions we've had fans were making, they've been able to scan some of those films like they were out in the wild.
Now what would happen is, like I guess when you would hit the end of the road, I mean they would normally recall them back, but sometimes I guess they would just sell them. You could literally buy them, because otherwise you just re-rent them or buy them from the studios.
Okay.
But they weren't cheap. That's the
Right.
thing. So like it used to be a thing where there was even like a
rental.
Like, you're not wrong. Where like the society of people that actually like would buy them and collect them, and these are the people now that are, donating their 35 millimeter prints to do these scans for some of these ones you can find out there in the wild. Let's say.
Yeah, because you always hear about like back in the day, movie stars had movie theaters in Hollywood and their own private, and they would screen movies. I'm like, well, where did they get the movies? It's like, where did some, I don't know if it was Bing Crosby.
There
let's say,
was
like
a
Bing
black
Crosby.
market where they would dupe them too. So I mean, there's that too. So yeah.
Yeah, so it's really, really, really interesting. Yep. And good night, Donnie. And Oliver says, yeah, Porky's came out in the Last Dragon. And all your base belong to us. Yes, we're going to get invaded. All right, well, we got to say goodnight to everyone. And Jill, what are
what's
your
your
final
final
thoughts?
thoughts? Yeah.
Thoughts, Jill, yeah.
Final thoughts
On Project Hail Mary.
I'm just glad that I was able to see this movie. I haven't had so much fun in the theater since probably maybe the Top Gun Maverick. Like this is up there with how awesome this is, how wonderful and perfect it is, as that was for people who love the aviation of the matter. This is great for the science fiction of the matter. If you want something out there that will tell you that we are capable of communicating with other life forms if we work hard enough at it and we're smart enough at it, like Grace is, then this is a hopeful message, of course, in that vein. And I'm so glad it exists.
Very well said. Very well said. And my final thoughts are, I agree with everything what you guys said. Yeah, maybe it could have been trimmed a little bit, as Tom said, but that's a pretty minor, in the grand scheme of things, that's a pretty minor issue. But I kind of agree with that. But I did really enjoy it, and it helps being in a reclining seat too, I guess, right? So as long as you don't fall asleep. But yeah, this movie had me engaged the whole time and wondering, they're going to save their planets, right? It's just a matter of how they're going to.
Right, you do know. You go into it knowing humanity's going to win.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even my 6-year-old didn't fall asleep. She falls asleep to a lot of movies I take her to. Not this one.
Yeah, not that one. Well, that's good to hear. Yep. So I had a lot of fun at this movie, and I got to use my my points with AMC, and I did buy the this is a plug for AMC's. They have their popcorn pass. You can get so for $30. You can get a large for the whole year. You can get one large popcorn at half price every day. So I got my popcorn was free. This time around with my using my points. My mom would have been proud of me with my ticket points and that popcorn thing, popcorn pass for the year. So my popcorn was free, even though I shouldn't be eating that hot buttered popcorn that much. But that was really good. Yeah. Oh, and Oliver, yeah, we did talk about the great William Shatner, and actually William Shatner was on the show. So if you rewind to the very beginning. Tom brought him on the show, shall we say. So Tom brought...
told me to tell you Priceline.com.
Priceline.com. Everyone go to Priceline.com. Yep.
I will use Priceline.com for my summer vacation. Thanks,
there we
William
go.
Shatner. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to the great William Shatner. National treasure, even though he came from Canada. Yeah.
Everyone... that means he's an international treasure.
Yeah. The God bless him, and just all the joy that he's brought to millions of people, not just Trekkies, because God, he was great on Boston Legal, and he was been a lot of fun through the years with his comedic sense of humor. I love his Twitter feed now. It's just I just love reading Bill's Twitter feed all the time, or X feed, I should say. So, but all right, well, let's play our thank you to all our channel members, and we got a lot of super chats tonight. So let me play the thank you to channel members here. Let me. So thank you everyone who joined as a channel member and supports us here, and get to use these cool emojis. We got the Doomsday. See, the Doomsday Machine. I was hoping the Doomsday Machine would have made an appearance in The Martian, and that's really what they were fighting, right? That should have been what was the big problem, right? The Doomsday Machine was eating the sun. But let's thank our super chatters for tonight. So tonight we had. Wes Cagle twice, so thank you so much for your super chats, Wes Cagle, and Cypher Chaos, thank you again for your super chat, and RRT and Z with 2 super chats, so thank you RRT and Z. So really appreciate that. Oh, and I highlighted 6 making fun of the tubes of you so yeah, I was trying to do you some Yoda speak. Yep. So thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. And let's read through our top fans for tonight. We had a huge group of people tonight here in the chat. It was probably because Tom and Jill were here. I think that's probably why. So we had Cowabunga Dude, Deeple, Mass Grave, Claude Saling, Alaska Jeff, Courtney, Geoff, I don't share my data, Marks 47, Canadian Spider-Man, Thomas Time, Keely Chow, Maddie's Daddy, TZ Burton, Lemon Pie, Darren M, Brian Barth, Cabe Levine, Sagacious 6, Brian Hepburn, RJ Godzilla, Lenrod, The Real Head Case, Oliver Belmonte, JT Kirk, Power Ranger Donnie, Hillboy, Admiral Teague, Cypher Chaos, The Stream Elements Bot, RT and Z, and Wes Cagle. Oh, and on the verticals,
number one.
Wes Cagle, number 1. We also had on the verticals Wallace Lang, Phantom Outsider, Lord Caltraz, Maddie's Daddy, Emma, Ryan User, and Kiefer. So thank you so much for everyone who joined us on the skinny side on the verticals. And really great night tonight. Sadness with the passing of that legend Chuck Norris. But God, what a great life he lived, and just what a great action hero star, great American all around. So God rest in peace, the great Chuck Norris. I know he's kicking ass up in heaven. All right, so let's ladies first. Jill, what you got your lunchtime show tomorrow, I'm assuming, or is that on Tuesday or Monday?
Lunchtime,
I can't remember.
that's on Tuesday. Yeah.
Tuesday, yeah.
Indefinite lunch and infinite combinations I do have on Tuesdays. Tomorrow is our last Twilight Zone for a while. It's not the end of the Twilight Zone. We're going to cover Jezebel from season 4, but after that, we're getting new For All Mankind episodes.
Oh,
so
that's
I
right.
am shifting my reviews to For All Mankind.
Well, that's on. Oh, I love that show. Yep. Did you do the hour-long Twilight Zone episodes, or was that season 4? Was the hour-long episodes, or what season?
That's right. That's right. That's season 4. I'm right in the middle of the 4-hour long, but I've got to take a break for All Mankind.
Because most people don't watch the hour-longs because they're not in syndication, I think.
Yeah,
typically,
not
right?
all of them are great, but I reviewed a wonderful one last week with Doomcock in the panel for the first time ever on my channel. I've been a friend.
Wow.
He's been my friend for years, and he showed up on my panel to talk about, because he loves the Twilight Zone so much.
That's fun.
So the Death Ship, he reviewed Death Ship with me, and it was the most amazing time. But until June, I'll be talking about For All Mankind, and then I'll get back to the Twilight Zone after that, and
After
I'll
that,
wrap
yep.
up the Twilight Zone with the movie. And so then on
Nice.
Fridays, I just do random stuff, movies and TV. But my last Friday of every month is very special this year because I'm covering the lives of a bridge crew member from the original series every month. And this month is Leonard Nimoy. That'll be this Friday. And we're going to talk all
Great.
about him for the
Sounds
60th
good.
anniversary for Star Trek.
Yeah, 60 years. Wow. Yep. That's awesome. Yep. So thank you, Jill.
you,
It's
Mark.
always awesome when you can pop in, and yeah, anytime. You got the keys to the kingdom. So keys to the door, I should say. And so thank you for being here, and glad you popped in to talk about this sci-fi movie. And it's proof that even though math is hard, if you do your math, you can save the galaxy. That's one of my favorite clips.
Beautiful.
But that Barbie got recalled. But I agree, math class is freaking tough. There's nothing,
tough.
right? I mean, I always thought English class was a lot easier. But
It's just the truth. So you got to work at it.
yeah, they said that didn't want discourage girls from doing math. Well, all right. Well, GI Joe could have said math class is tough too. I don't think people would have complained. But thank you also, Tom, for being here. It's always great to have you on the panel here at the Geekery. What you got coming up on the morning show? I'm assuming some more talk on this movie.
Probably, considering we usually do the box office and it's kind of the talk. But I also have my second theory on what's going on or what happened to Chuck Norris. He didn't actually die, but God needed him for a mission in heaven because I believe the devil has infiltrated. And yeah, so I think that's what's going on, and he needed him. So that I can accept too. So
there we go.
It's kind of like Invasion Heaven. So
yeah. There we go. So Chuck is keeping us safe.
He needed backup
with Michael the Archangel. Yep. So yeah, and thank you, Wes Cagle, for posting links there. And I don't know if you've got Tom's Midnight's Edge link. If you have a chance, if you could throw it in the chat. But I'm sure everyone here is sub to Tom. But just in case, and then we're waiting for news on your new endeavor, which will be coming out
hopefully
soon.
Hopefully,
yes. Yeah. Hopefully soon. And if anyone hasn't, another plug for Sam's channel. Life.
The weird thing is
wife.
every day I plan on doing stuff to get that thing rolling. Andre sends me like 3 projects.
Right.
It never fails. I don't know why, but
yep.
We'll see.
It's always tough to catch up. Like I think I got a lot of time in the beginning of the day, and then I've got too many projects going on. And when am I going to get to unbox my new Enterprise? I hope maybe tomorrow I'll unbox the damn Enterprise. Jill, I did get the Tomy 1/350th Enterprise. Huge. Yeah, so I don't know where I'm going to put that sucker because you can't hang it from the ceiling. I might have to find a spot in the basement, but my wife told me it's not going anywhere in the family room. And I've got the Batmobile there, so maybe if I take everything off that one cabinet, maybe I could change it out for the Enterprise. We'll see what she says. But
have anything from Tomy that you've ordered? Has any of it showed up?
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did get it last week. The Tomy 1/350th Enterprise.
You did get it. That's amazing.
Oh, I did get it. Yeah, I did get it, and I got
great.
busted because my wife came home and I left it in the dining room. I thought she wouldn't see it. I didn't have a chance to. I forgot it was in there. I kind of tucked it in the corner. She's like, "What's this huge box?" I'm like, "It's a model. He plays with toys." Yeah. So, yeah, it was. I got snagged. He's like,
Well, you're so lucky she puts up with all that.
Oh, thank God.
He plays with toys,
It's a model.
with little figures.
So yeah, maybe I'll get to unboxing that tomorrow. We'll see. If not, hopefully on Tuesday. But yeah, you get busy, like you said, right? Yeah. What's in the FM box? What's in the box? Yeah, I want to open it all up on camera. It's all on camera. I want to open it up all on camera. So I almost wanted to like open up and peek. And some people have had damaged ones and some major things that are wrong with it. So I'm like kind of like half dying, but I gotta wait to get it all on all on camera. So hopefully Monday or Tuesday I'll get to that. But yeah, so thank you again, Tom. Thank you, Jill. Thank you, everyone in the chat. It was rocking tonight. Yeah, we had like at one point we had over 40 people. We still got like 30 people hanging out with us. So really appreciate that. And we've got people. Dude Bro was on Rumble, which is awesome, and some new people here. So yeah, so if you haven't, clobber that like button, hit that subscribe button. Really appreciate it if you do. Leave a comment on the video. That always helps those YouTube algorithms. So all right, everyone. Well, thank you. Tom just I don't know if I'm sure Tom would have said goodbye. Probably just lost his connection. But again, thank you, Tom, for being here. Thank you, Jill. Anytime, feel free to pop on over. And yeah, I've got to make some of those For All Mankind reviews if I can. I know you've invited me, but I'm always at work, or I got a big project at work, so we'll see. If I gotta clear out a one time at least to come on for one of those episodes if you'll
play
have
hooky
me.
for one
Play hooky.
Tuesday.
Yeah, play hooky. Yep. So a lot of times I'm listening just in the background there, but yeah, I love that show, For All Mankind. It's just so damn good. So a lot of fun, a lot of good science. So Tom just lost his network. Damn Frontier. Yeah, I knew you would have said yeah. So yeah. So yeah, it's really a lot of fun to have you guys on here, and really appreciate it. And Tom would have said said good night, I'm sure, if he could have. Yeah, damn Frontier. Damn you. Yep. So yep. All right. So everyone have a great week. Be healthy. Go UConn, and we'll catch you on the next Sunday Night Geekery. All right, everyone. Take care and have fun storming the castle. I'm gonna pop us out. We'll play a few clips and
can
Jill,
you include a talkie toaster for me, please?
Yeah, I'll definitely include a talkie toaster. So yeah, hang out till the end here, and then we'll play some fun clips. We'll definitely get talkie toaster. All right. Good night, everyone.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
Would you like some toast? Some nice hot crisp brown buttered toast.
Where'd they go?
Right there.
Oh, screw you!
Captain, I see no reason to stand here and be insulted.
I protest. I am not a merry man.
Jake, if I never see another claim,
It'll be too soon.
Kneel before Zod!
Relax. All right? My old man is a television repairman. Got this ultimate set of tools. I can fix it.
I heard another rumor that you were bitten by a king cobra.
Yeah, I was. But after 5 days of agonizing pain, the cobra died.
Fun storming the castle.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
You're still here? It's over. Go home.